go live. All right. So,
Okay.
hey, people, hold on. We're not public yet. This is still unlisted, but yeah, the VOD people are gonna watch this. But hey, fucking ECUM and Eternals once again. How is everyone doing? Yeah,
I hate Eternals.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
me
hate that
too,
movie.
dude. The film that has fucking the best character work in the MCU since Guardians 2. I just like explosions. Like there were not enough explosions in that film for my taste, honestly.
There were too many women. It's the MCU face bore.
Exactly, dude. Like they literally had a gay black fat character. Like, bruh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It had two gay people kissing. How can that be good?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh no, they even
And at the
had
end
a
of the
kid.
movie-
Imagine gay people having kids. What? That's literally anatomically impossible. Imagine having
spoiler-
such bad writing.
Spoiler alert, by the way, at the end, Richard Madden literally flies into the sun. Like, how could that
What?
movie possibly be good?
Yeah, character named Icarus, and his character fucking kills himself by flying into the sun. That's typical Marvel. The lack of creativity just fucking...
Typical Marvel film ending with a suicide.
Yeah,
I just
typical
want-
Marvel film. Unironically though, it was pretty funny when I was watching it with my friend, especially because my friend was watching it with me. He's an MCU show pretty much, and I thought he was, and then I was like, holy shit, I did not expect him to kill himself by the end of the film. And my friend was like, yeah, me neither. But you know, definitely, he's definitely the kind of person who wouldn't know this being a huge MCU show. But yeah. What the fuck? Can you come this early? What black magic is this? This is the usual time we stream at. Might be because daylight savings ended in America like a week or two ago, so that might be why it seems like it's earlier. But yeah, Marcus is an MCU show. Oh yeah, no, you know I love it, especially the Ant-Man films. Just Kino.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Plus, we all know I was trying to shill Disney last night. I was trying to shill,
Shit, yeah.
trying to shill for Disneyland.
I forgot that was a fucking argument that happened. Of course.
We all know that. We all know that if you like one thing in a franchise, you have to like the whole franchise.
Of course. No, yeah, Tin is the biggest MCU fangirl I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I was following that conversation. It's like he was selling Disney fast food or something. It was
That's what he said. Plus, like, the last thing I said, it's clear you're not going to debate, you're just going to throw arguments. I said goodbye, and he said, enjoy Disneyland. And then half an hour later, he deleted that reply, and then the quote tweet me saying, this you. Like,
That's
yeah, it was like he thought it was like conflicting statements to say I don't care about the MCU, but Eternals is good. Like
Yeah.
he thought there was, and I said it's like, okay, since you care about fast food, this is like saying you can't like anything on the menu just because you don't like a restaurant. And then he's like, sure, okay, stop telling me Big Macs are good then. That's the reply he gave me.
I mean, hell, because it was in Jay's replies. Here's a Doctor Who thing. You can see the Chibnall era is bad, but the Haunting of Philip Idati is good. That's a conflicting statement.
Bootneck just mentioned the that amazing meme that I started yesterday because of Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and I'm gonna change the name of the stream. So hold on a sec.
Oh, let me see this real quick. Oh yeah. For a moment, time stood still. Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay, that's good. See, now that's a much better title. I don't know if it updated on the stream yet, so I'm gonna send it here in the group.
Thank you. Spoilers with CV.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, Eternals is good. That is all I needed to say. Right now. But then, you know, kind of stepping on Jeb's toes ears because Jeb has just watched the newest Doctor Who episode and he has a few
And
thoughts
he
he
loves
wants
it.
to share. Yeah.
Fucking kill yourself. Yeah.
See,
I
this is
watched
Jeb
it.
dying inside. You're gonna witness it.
And it's I'm content saying it's the worst episode of the series because only Chibnall could destroy an entire Doctor's era. Only Chibnall
By the way,
destroy
when
UNET.
Jeb says series, he means season. It's because the British people are cringe. So it's not the worst episode of the entire show. That's still
British are
should-
cringe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, only Chibnall could destroy the entire Pertwee era and UNET by having this guy infiltrated the entire time, doing evil things, and eventually then killing UNET
Oh, you mean
as an
Hydra?
organization. Huh?
I mean, it was just Hydra. It's just the Winter Soldier of the MCU.
Only Chibnall could write an episode where it's just, we're going to answer things very, very slowly, but give you 10 more questions that we're just not going to bother with. Only Chibnall could destroy the entire universe. Only Chibnall could write an organization so retarded that they make Hydra look like genius masterminds. Like, to put it this way, the Division are everywhere. There are all these species of aliens. The Doctor has no idea because the Doctor doesn't have the memories. So you think the obvious answer would be, let's not destroy the entire universe that we've been forcing in one way. Let's kidnap the Doctor and use her in some form against her will. Nah, they go with the fucking implode the universe. Why not? The mystery elderly lady, it was obvious in 2 minutes, is Tetaeun. She dies in the episode by this woman Azure that we have no reason to care or had nothing to know about them. And we're on the last episode now. It's just, like, to put it this way, I'd rather watch an entire season of Batwoman than this, because at least with Batwoman I get fucking answers. And then
What
they
about
can,
the Flash?
I hope.
No,
You know
don't
what?
stop.
I'd rather watch The Flash because at least I get answers. Joe
That
West may be dead.
I
I get
unironically love
answers.
The Flash, though. It's so much fun to watch. I'm sorry,
Like,
but season 8 has been really fun to record, and it'll be out once that we're done with the Doctor Who extras. By the way, so everyone watching, don't you worry, we're gonna have more content soon.
I just, bearing in mind he's got to conclude this in like some reasonable fashion by the end of next episode, and we have next to nothing.
Well, I
really answered.
imagine a lot of the answers he's gonna leave until the New Year's special, considering it's still pretty close, but you know, it gives him more time to do it. I don't know.
Yay!
He just like me for real.
And the amazing thing about Kate, you know, it's quite a major presence in the trailer, quite a big shock. She's in it for a minute and a half at most, and one of the scenes
Did they
is
like
her doing anything.
teaser for showing up in the next episode or something, or is it just like this is the only one she's gonna show up?
No, she's in the next episode. She's going to be defending humanity against Sontaras.
Nice. Okay.
Oh yeah, the Sontaras are back. Apparently they've been working at Grand Serpent this entire time, infiltrating UNET for a staged attack. Yay! Paul Sarah Jane Smith and the Third Doctor. Yay! Elizabeth Slater and the Brigadier are dead, guys. Stop pissing on their fucking corpses. Oh yeah, they fucked over the Brigadier as well, because the Brigadier knew nothing about this.
Wasn't but Cyberbrig bad enough?
This is worse because it implies that the Brigadier just never figured out UNIT was being manipulated for evil deeds, which makes him a colossal retard.
Don't do that to the Brigadier, please. He's too much of a Chad to ruin.
Chibnall's just like, I'm gonna piss on all their corpses, why not?
Nicholas Courtney's been dead for 10 years. Just let him rest.
What else? That's about. Oh yeah. Stan and Jericho had an assassination attempt. Only the once though. They didn't really want that. That's where he killed. No.
Oh yeah, you said they just brushed past the 3-year thing.
Yeah. So they have like one scene. They actually have two scenes. They have one scene where they're like, "Do you think we'll ever get back?" And then they just brush it. And then they have another scene where Yaz listens to the Doctor in this hologram thing, which is nice. And then Dan barely gets anything, but goes, "We'll get back." He has no concern about Dai being lost whilst he's somewhere in time. Jericho was pointless in this episode. If he wasn't in this episode, nothing changes. He gets no character development. He is literally useless. Actually, no, that's a lie. He takes them to Sears around the world, but it didn't mean anything in the end anyway. It led to nothing. Because it's actually Dan finds out the solution through the tunnels. So, yeah. That was a waste of time. Bella and Vinda are useless as usual. Can't wait for this show to move on from Chibnall.
We only have 4 episodes left, Jeff. Don't worry. And, you know,
I hope
like,
Chibnall comes back at some point.
I will snap you on that.
I hope you die. I hope you find Tesla 2 is bad because of you.
The thing is, I was watching this episode and I just kept thinking RTD with something like this could make something that might be messy while building there, but characters, man, it'd be fantastic. Like the dynamic with the Dr. Tetun. Chibnall does nothing with that. You barely get anything on Tetun, so when she dies, it means nothing. Whereas RTD would really develop that.
I doubt it.
Look, do you want to die? Like, is this the night you want this to be your final night? Because I'm tempted to make it happen. Is that what you want? Are you suicidal? I'll meet your needs.
I just want Chibnall to return, man.
Please die.
Do you think he'd write an episode for RTD Chew?
RTT2.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to actually get an answer, but alright. Whatever, just ignore my question. And Zod fucking eating his keyboard. But yeah. I don't know.
Oh, we have somebody saying Eternals is due in the chat.
Okay.
Okay,
Good for...
we're talking
Oh, it's that
about
IT
Hoover,
guy,
okay.
yeah. Hi. He's here in last stream. But yeah, I saw someone asking in chat about Hawkeye. I haven't seen it yet. I should have, but
Marcus, I literally reminded you 500 times.
Yeah, you did. But I didn't watch it. I was gonna watch it today before the stream, but then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. And then when I remember, it was like 4:20 and the stream was at 5 p.m, so I wouldn't have time anyway. But yeah. So who here has watched? Jab and CV have you watched it, Zod?
I think Zod
I
did.
have, yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine Tin
10
hasn't
have you?
because it's Tin.
Okay.
I'm trying to get through a bit of Daredevil so I can see how bad they fuck Fisk.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I am planning to watch it.
Yeah, apparently-
No,
Yeah.
just prioritize Daredevil. Fuck.
Apparently, there's a rumor that they're going to use CGI to make him fatter.
Oh yeah, I saw they're gonna do the huge fat Hawkeye, not Hawkeye, Kingpin, and in live action.
like-
So yeah.
Yes.
It's like, why? Because it doesn't really work in live action because it just looks ridiculous, and 2, Fisk, like Vincent, whatever,
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah,
Vincent D'Onofrio, is perfect as he is as Fisk. He's still intimidating.
Yeah, like he's
he's-
fat, but he's also like physically strong. You can feel like he's a threat physically as well.
And he's tall too, so like you don't need it.
Yeah, like dude, you watch that scene in season 1 with the car door, and it's like, I'm sorry, he
Yes,
doesn't
yeah.
need to be fucking huge
Yeah,
to make that
Jesus.
scene scary.
Like imagine that, but with like the big huge Fisk we're gonna get. Apparently, it'd be ridiculous.
It would be ridiculous because he'd be like 3 times the size of the car. Oh, that'd be so cringe.
That scene is still like top tier Marvel. It is so amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I'm just memeing about Eternals. Yeah, no, Eternals is great. Don't you worry. We are fairly confident in that take. And yeah, what people are saying about Kingpin showing up in Hawkeye, that would mean that it's a soft reboot of these characters, pretty much, and it would decanonize the Netflix shows. But I don't think they were ever like 100% canon. I think it's the same
It's
like
like-
Agents of Shield, where the films are canon to the show, but the show isn't canon to the films. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like a one-way canon because the shows reference the MCU, but the MCU never acknowledges the shows.
Yeah. And the
Yeah,
shows do a
the
much better job of addressing anything the films want to address, which I think is pretty funny, honestly.
the only exception is Agents of Shield because
Season
Age of
2.
Ultron literally,
Yeah.
Age of Ultron literally needs
Yeah, I mean,
Agents of
and
Shield
it
for
was
that
literally because Joss Whedon was still working on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by season 2, and he also obviously made Age of Ultron, so it was like, yeah, I'm gonna tie this show that I'm making with the film. And then he left Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because Marvel was really shitty to him, so yeah.
Yeah, to give context, basically, the way that they find the scepter, they find the twins and everything is through Agents of Shield.
And
In
the way they have helicarrier as well is through the Agents of
yeah,
S.H.I.E.L.D. And they do reference
and
that in the film where Fury is like, I got it from some old friends.
and the Hydra top figure operatives in Age of Ultron first appeared in Agents of Shield,
Yeah.
and the reason they're in those positions is because of Agents of Shield. So
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does influence a lot of Age of Ultron. I guess it's like not the kind of thing where it wouldn't make sense if you didn't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but like you'd need to make a lot of inferences that are like explicitly explained in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree, CV, because you definitely have watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
they were
Yes.
canon. They mentioned the instant unlock in New York version. Yeah, they are one-way canon.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Where
Yeah.
the shows, the films are canon to the shows, but the shows aren't canon to the films, except for Agents of Shield, up until season 2. Also, I agree the Punisher is underrated. I actually think season 1 of the Punisher is the best Netflix season out of all of the Marvel shows. That is a take I know a lot of people disagree with, but yeah. Season 2 is not as good, and it has one big issue that really bothers me, but it's still pretty great.
Oh, also, Agent Carter ties into the films.
Oh yes, didn't a
yeah.
character show up in Endgame?
Yeah, Jarvis, and also because Agent Carter is intrinsically tied to Agents of Shield, it
Yeah.
kind of forms this bubble.
Yeah. Which is why I think it's weird to decanonize these shows, but whatever. Excuse me, better than season 3 of Daredevil? Uh, from memory, I'd argue so because there's one episode of season 3 of Daredevil that it kind of breaks Dex's backstory in a way. I don't want to
Yeah,
say too much so I don't spoil it for 10. But yeah,
I
Dex's backstory doesn't really make sense.
I explained this to TC on Twitter because or DMs because he said he couldn't really find any issues with the season.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like that episode from a presentation standpoint and from a character standpoint is amazing, but from a I guess world building standpoint regarding Dex's backstory, it does not really make sense. But I still really like it. Anyway, either way. Everybody remember Inhumans, Cloak and Dagger, Hellstrom, and The Runaways. Did you watch
I
Cloak and
remember
Dagger? Did you watch Cloak and Dagger, Jab?
I did ages ago, and that also ties it. Does that tie into Agents of Shield?
It ties
No.
into Luke Cage. They mention him by name.
Runaways ties it to Agents of Shield. That's the Darkhold.
Yeah, Runaways, I watched season 1 and the first 2 episodes of season 2. And it was fun. It was not terrible, but it was not, like, great either. It's just a really meh show. That I do want to watch simply because of how it ties into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but yeah. And also, Dominic sent a super chat that I'm opening Streamlabs to read, so give me 1 sec. Don't forget Inhumans. I watched the first 2 episodes of Inhumans. I think, Jeb, you watched it all the way through, right?
Yes, and it's the worst thing the MCU has ever done to fuck over Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for that.
Alright. So, Dominic super chatted saying, oh yeah, forgot to donate last time. Almost forgot this stream. Don't worry, Dominic. But yeah, thanks. Happy to hear Jeb loved the new No episode. Hope you lads are
Thank
doing
you.
good. Yeah, we're doing pretty great today. And I think we're ready to get started on the video we're gonna cover, if everyone's alright with that.
Very excited.
Whoa,
Literally,
okay.
no one knows about Hellstrom, do they? I know about Hellstrom. Ghost Rider show is meant to happen as well.
Hellstrom. I didn't know that show existed actually. 2020 one season. What the
They got
fuck?
Also,
cancelled.
I imagine.
Marcus, somebody asked for your thoughts on Luke Cage.
I think it's really underrated. I think season 1 is great until a certain character dies, where the show kind of takes a nosedive, but it's still decent. Season 2, I think, is on. It doesn't achieve the same highs as season 1, but it's better overall because it doesn't just drop in quality out of nowhere. So yeah, I think Luke Cage is pretty underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say it is overall better than like Jessica Jones, for example. Even though Jessica Jones season 1 is fucking amazing, season 2 is actual garbage, and season 3 is pretty meh.
Yeah, sure.
I'm glad you agree, CV. We're always on the same page.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh shit! Fucking Bev from Midnight Mass is in Hellstrom. Samantha Sloyan.
Oh,
Or fucking Lee from Hill House. So anyway,
Just-
watch together. Join the link.
what is a watch together?
Oh yeah, I know you have never used that before because this is your first time on ECUM, but this is a thing where we
Yeah.
watch, shows together. Like,
Okay.
what about
You
Defenders?
autistic
Defenders is really shit. Episode 2 I quite like. It's the only episode that I think is good. Danny is actually really, really terrible as a character. He ruins the entire show. Daredevil's arc is good. I remember that. Elektra's pretty shit. I hate the Hand and Alexandra. And I think those are all my thoughts. Oh yeah, Jessica Jones. Her being part of the team literally makes no sense whatsoever. Like, genuinely, she should not be in the show at all, other than them wanting to be like, oh yeah, it's like the comics.
The best scene in the entire show is Daredevil beating the shit out of Iron Fist.
Yes, easily. Oh, that's actually a pretty neat scene, I think, in terms of like character writing. I guess simply because Matt is well written there, but yeah, the Daredevil characters in the Defender show are pretty great. Foggy and Karen are also really good, and Iron Fist is garbage. Really, really shit. Really, really shit. Though season 2 is better, but yeah.
By the way, tomorrow is Spider Monday.
What the fuck is that?
Tickets tomorrow. But no way home.
It's actually technically tonight, like at 11 Central. So that's like 12 midnight Eastern time.
So 2 a.m. my time. I am super excited. Yeah, sure.
I'm staying up to buy my tickets.
Jessica Jones season 1, Killgrave escaping. This is the most tismy scene in the show. I don't remember there being any tisms. I remember everything being informed by character decisions. Because it had to do with like a multitude of reasons, right? The fact that he manipulated Hogarth, and then obviously everything with his parents and Jessica not wanting them to die is all like informed by characters. Though I need to rewatch it.
Also, Bootneck asks for your thoughts on Last Night in Soho.
Oh yeah, I adore that film. It was some of the most fun I've had watching a film in a very long time. For like the first half and the second half, it was just like some really fucking amazing scares, really creative scares, I guess, which was interesting to come from Edgar Wright, but also expected because of how creative he is. And from a presentation level, just cinematography and editing and everything, it's just like, it's perfect. And I don't
agree with the criticism that the ending is the worst part of the movie?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't think so. I will rewatch with the ending in mind, but I think people are overreacting to it. I don't understand really why everyone's like losing their minds over it.
It's because people just be cringe.
I mean, people are very cringe. Case in point, the video we're gonna cover is from good old Hill vs Babyface, Jeb's favorite YouTuber. So, are you all excited?
Yay! Let's go.
So I'm just the title of the video I think is quite interesting already.
Jeb, are you sexy penis?
Hello.
Sexy penis time. Disney she'll go to Disneyland is obviously Tin, and cringe Frozen PFP is obviously Zon. So yeah, I'm glad you
And I'm
guys.
CV.
Yeah, because you're very boring, same
Yes.
as me. Downtown Song
I
slaps
spelled
you
out my
plus.
name the way SK does it.
Saying, Jeb, that sounds like your dating profile there, to be honest.
All right. So
Plotless, flat, underdeveloped, overlong, bore.
I was gonna read the title, so thanks, EV. But yeah,
Oh,
that
okay,
is
you
no, yeah,
go.
you already did it for me. That's better. So yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, that is what he calls the film. It's quite an interesting claim, to say the least. So let us.
I hope he qualifies it.
I mean, it's a 23-minute video. It's longer than Nerdrotic, so I imagine he's gonna go 100% more in
You
depth.
could spend like
Oh, let's
20
go.
minutes. You say you could spend 20 minutes saying like, oh, going in depth, and then the last few minutes says I could go more in depth, but I can't be that.
Oh yeah, he said like, oh yeah, the writing is so bad that I don't even want you to talk about the writing. It's like, good one,
Which
Nerdrotic.
he said 17, when he said like 14 minutes in.
Yeah, he said after he had like summarized the plot throughout the entire video. Oh, not the entire video, because the first quarter of the video was just him talking about fucking rape and shit. Because yeah, why not?
What?
Yeah, he talks about Me Too and fucking the fact that DC hired a black woman to direct a film and then they canceled the film. And then it was like, see, but Marvel had already hired right after as well Chloe Zhao, because she's also a woman of color. And it's like, see, this is
okay.
the ploy that Marvel was waiting for DC to do it first to realize that it was going to be okay for them to do it or something like that. Which,
Okay.
it's retarded.
Okay. Alrighty, let's watch this. Oh, I love it already.
Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface in a chilly November evening here in the UK as my heater blares away to try and keep some semblance of circulation going.
Can we just point out what a great start that is somewhere on Rotten Tomatoes?
That's what I was thinking about.
No, he's just gonna show like, oh yeah, no, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't matter, as he always does, because he's definitely gonna be consistent with that. I am certain. Also, speaking of certain, CV, if you want to make that your profile picture, I would definitely encourage it.
Okay, let's go right now. Save image as moment.
Nice.
Okay. Now let's go to my profile, which is right here. Settings.
It's a perfect moment that we paused. I'm glad we did it. But
every time you just send a new image, I will just change my profile picture.
Nice. Oh, by the
Why are
way,
you copying me?
remember when Nerdrotic said last stream when Nerdrotic said that the CGI in Eternals was shit, and then he showed that low res image of Thena. So one thing I learned from CV actually sharing this with me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Thena's suit, and who else's? Was it Fastos?
Let me go check. It's Thena and Harry Styles who plays.
Oh yeah.
Thanos'
Eros,
brother.
yeah. So Thena's and Eros' suit, they're both purely CGI, 100% CGI. And I'm sorry, but could any of you tell?
No, I thought it was
No, not really.
practical.
Me too.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I watched the film twice, once in
iPad.
IMAX even. I was like, oh shit, the fact that this is CGI is insane. But it's bad CGI.
I did notice that Thena's suit was like more smoother, like he didn't have as much of a texture. But
Oh yeah,
other than
definitely.
that,
It was
looked-
like I guess more glue to her skin.
yeah, but I was also very distracted. So
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
It's not like the MCU suits, which are so obviously CGI.
Yeah. It's kind of like why I like the design they have for like Peter Quill's costumes in Guardians, because it's so unique and like specific to him. I quite like
Also
the way
the-
they dress in those films.
the profile picture has been updated.
Oh, thank you, CV.
Yes.
Thought it was time that we should discuss Eternals. Now, if
Your
you saw
mom.
yesterday's Friday Night Tights, you got a nice little starter course, and let's
Definitely
be
did
honest,
not
a
watch
bit
it.
of Maine as well.
I'm pretty sure we watched a clip from it that someone sent us, probably Strike. Where they were talking about Eternals, and it was some of the fucking most retarded shit I've ever heard. So,
The only clip I've seen from Friday Night Tights is the one about Hawkeye. It was like everyone just complaining about Kate Bishop. It's like, where's the growth? It was so
one
funny.
character cannot be physically strong. That is what?
It's like you're 2 episodes in, and they've showed her like messing up like countless times. It's like, oh, she's just perfect. She's just better than Hawkeye. Like what?
Well, that's the narrative they make for literally every female character. They say, "Oh yeah, she has to be better than the male character. She's just perfect." And that's what they call
And it's
Mary
like you
Sue.
never
It's like,
question
oh,
this with any male character. Like
Yeah.
Hawkeye's abilities were never explained. He's just been good,
Yeah,
but that's not a
yeah,
point
and when you
of-
have like you have something like Avatar: The Last Airbender that I know is the kind of thing that crowd loves. Sorry, but Aang is a fucking Gary Stu. He's a massive Gary Stu, but it's not the kind of thing that people would criticize because it's a show they like. It's just
well,
it's
he's
like
of
double
the
standard.
masculine gender, so it's okay.
Exactly.
Of course.
Giving
Just-
Zod PTSD.
just so
She was
stupid.
watching season 1 of Valor. We're still gonna have to
It's just
continue that
so
at some point,
stupid.
and I don't want to, but we will.
No.
Mm.
I'm trying to, like, the funniest thing is the very first scene you see Kate in with the school.
She fucking destroyed
She
the
destroys
clock
the
tower.
bell. Yeah, by complete accident because she fired the shot incorrectly. She went too firm on it, causing the bell to keep ringing. She fucked over Hawkeye's plans.
Yeah.
Multiple times actually, his plans to save her and his plans for Christmas. She got caught trying to be a waiter. She kept getting beat up. She struggles in every fight, to be honest. She would have died if it weren't for Hawkeye at
Against
the end of
mafia.
episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, if you're gonna call this person a Mary Sue, I'm kind of lost.
Also,
Yeah, so like the show is not perfect. Like it has issues, but like this is not one of them.
Yeah, fight choreography is really bad.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's very rough.
I just want to say that I think is interesting because one thing, for example, I know Gary said that in the last on the last stream, the video we covered from him, that he likes to call Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man because, you know, he says, oh, it was a film that focuses on a wasp or whatever because she's female. And behind Az, there's, you know, an action figure of Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I'm confused. Because like the point of the fandom the point of the fandom menace, from what I've gathered, is that they want to fight against the people who are destroying Hollywood, destroying films, destroying entertainment. If they believe that Ant-Man and the Wasp is part of that, why would they support that film by buying merchandise from it?
Because
she's hot.
I
That's
mean,
probably it.
I agree, but that's beside the point. If you want a hot fucking Evangeline Lilly thing, you just buy it from her in Lost. It's much better.
And also, if they really are against this entertainment stuff, why do they keep watching and making content on it, generate conversation, causing more
Yeah.
people to watch it?
Yeah, it's the what's it called?
Views.
The Streisand effect, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Well,
they're
you
causing
see-
they're creating more attention and driving more people to talk about and watch these films.
Okay,
Which is
so
counterproductive as fuck.
what's going on here is that they're engaging in a form of reverse psychology by basically promoting the movies. They are indulging in the practices that they're trying to obtain people from engaging in. So it's like a reverse mind effect, you know?
Sure. Let's go with that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, Alexa, I was not talking to you. Okay.
But it's time that I go through exactly why I came to the decisions that I did with the Eternals and why I think this was a huge opportunity lost, because I honestly think there was the potential to have a really good story here.
Me too, but
Good
the potential
thing,
was
good thing
fulfilled.
they had it. Good thing they had it, yeah.
I just want to say here, that IT guy said in chat, Lost is a really good show and the ending makes sense. I will find anyone who wants to challenge that objectively correct position. I've been watching it with thought. Beginning of season 5, and I genuinely don't understand why people say that the show gets bad after season 2. It's still pretty great, so I really hope the ending does make sense. But yeah, that was just say that the film had potential and it didn't fulfill it. I mean, let's see how he qualifies that.
So first and foremost, you can see.
Sorry. Omar said in chat, the movies are going to be made regardless. That's not the point, though. If the movies are made, and you want them to flop and you want them to fail because you don't want to see this type of entertainment anymore, you would not generate conversation and buzz around those films, because that generates more people watching it and thus more revenue being made, and thus Disney's like, oh, let's make more of this, as opposed to just being like, okay, so we're not going to watch it. We're going to, I guess boycott would be the most appropriate word. We're going to boycott these films so that they make less money, and therefore we can, we can rescue Hollywood, which is what they want. Which obviously is a hard process, but that's why they're like building an audience that's going to be so big to a point where it actually starts to hurt Hollywood. I guess at least that is their plan. Because if it's not, then I don't understand what would be.
Yes, if you look at history, like all the boycotts throughout history, the purpose is to stop doing what you're fighting against. That's the main definition. Like you don't just keep on watching the movies and then say, oh, we're trying to stop them from making these types of movies. Then just stop watching them. Stop giving them money.
Also, if you admit that the movies are going to be made regardless, not you specifically, but this statement in general, then it is true that the fandom menace does not have a sway or an impact like they think they do.
Yeah, which just means they're pointless.
True,
yeah, the entire point of their, I guess, the entire point of their community is made null if you actually think they're going to be made regardless. So you're just discounting this entire thing. Which honestly,
actual numbers. If you look at the actual numbers, they are way in the minority. They are not nowhere near where they need to be to actually make a change.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, like general audiences and the normies are like, those are the ones that actually make money for these big companies. It's not just it's not like these people, they don't actually ultimately matter.
And it's not really helping when they make up statements about Hawkeye, for example, and just reduce any credibility that remain.
Yeah, when they lie about the shit they cover. Yeah, like I knew you were gonna mention that. Like they lie about the shit they're covering simply to fit their narrative, which obviously is not good. And like Jeb said, the ratings that has lies like literally every week about the Doctor Who ratings.
It's insane.
All right.
The critic score versus the current audience score. You'd expect the audience score to come out hot. A lot of Marvel stands out there don't like their movies being what they perceive to be under attack. But I put zero.
What? I don't know what that means.
I think that fits way more with the fandom menace mindset rather than the Marvel shill mindset. Because I've seen a lot of Marvel fans not liking Eternals, but I've seen the fandom menace every time goes after like these reboots and remakes, and they're like, see, they're trying to destroy this thing we loved, and they feel like they're under attack. Like literally, verbatim, there are people in the fandom menace, probably who has said like, oh, they're trying to destroy this franchise, and these characters we used to love. It's really
they're very extra.
They literally make the claim that Doctor Who is dead every week, and it's not. It's not, but they do make that claim. They do it with so many other things, like the MCU is dying, and it's like it's not.
It's not.
I think it's dying from a quality point of view, but it's not dying from like an actual just influence or money making point of view for Disney.
As soon as No Way Home comes out, you will see that it's nowhere near dying.
Yeah, didn't No Way Home trailer beat the record for like most watched trailer?
Which it topped Endgame's record. It topped Endgame's record.
Yeah, that's just how big it is. It's insane.
And it's trending like every day.
Yep, every day you see on Twitter, Tobey Maguire trending, Andrew Garfield trending.
I see like just random movies from Marvel just trending on there. Like it's crazy.
For real.
Like they're not even relevant right now, but they still trend.
Yeah, it's
So
Yeah, like to put it this way, you got Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer, 355.5 million views in 24 hours, and
Yeah.
it gained 289 million.
that's significantly more.
And it had the most conversation, I think, of anything in 24 hours.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you.
you're welcome. But yeah,
And
it's the impact the MCU
that's-
still has in pop culture is really insane. I don't think people will realize that.
And that's without getting into Disney Plus shows like WandaVision topped Mandalorian, Falcon and Winter Soldier topped WandaVision. I don't know if Loki topped Falcon and Winter Soldier. Though.
I think it did. I think Loki was their most successful show. If you want to fact check that, Jeb, because I'm not sure.
Let
but-
me check. I know what if probably isn't.
Yeah, no.
Um,
What if being animated and not like main canon? I don't imagine it did as well as the live action shows, but still, I
probably
imagine
not.
it did pretty well.
Okay,
It's
so
like
based on a really quick search, the debut episode tops WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and the finale definitely did as well.
Yeah, so like the MCU is not dying.
it's like they know how to market like really well.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's
they
the
know
kind
how
of
to
thing.
put
Like
their
in
stuff out
the
there.
Eternals trailer, where they have that moment where they're like, "Oh, who's gonna lead the Avengers?" And Icarus said, "Oh, I could," and everyone starts laughing. That is the kind of humor that gets normies to watch MCU films. But in the film, they didn't have that joke actually, and it was actually a character moment, which was really, really good. And a lot
Yeah, yeah,
better. Yeah, and it's just a lot better than in the trailer. But like, yeah, they needed to change it in the trailer to have people watch it, and it's a smart move, marketing wise, to do that. So like, Disney understands that.
Okay, so to read this paragraph, it's on Wikipedia, it's referenced. Disney CEO Bob Chapek announced that Glorious Purpose was the most watched series premiere for the streaming service in its opening week. Nelson Media Research, who measured the number of minutes watched by US audiences on television sets, listed Loki as the third most watched original series across streaming services for the week of June 7th to 13th, with Glorious Purpose accumulating 731 million minutes viewed. So the episode's 50 minutes long, so you can imagine how many minutes viewed, people viewed it, and how many times, which was more than the premieres of Falcon and Winter Soldier, 485 million minutes, and WandaVision, 434. According to Saber TV, For All Time Always was viewed in 1.9 million US households from July 14th to 18th, surpassing the finales for WandaVision 1.4 and Falcon and Winter Soldier 1.7 million.
Yeah, so
yeah.
these shows are doing really well. Yeah. So do you literally think the MCU would legitimately be around in 60 years? I don't have the foresight to know that, because in 60 years the movie landscape could change a lot. Like it has been changing a lot due to the due to COVID. So I'm not entirely sure, but and you know, at some point I imagine people were gonna get tired of the superhero content being so mainstream because of especially with the Marvel formula that's, you know, present in most of their films. It could get pretty tiring, but also there's like new more people who will get interested in these films and are born in that time that could get interested. So I'm not sure. I do think they're gonna last for a while still, though. I don't like expect them to start slowing down now.
I think it could really help them if they continue doing stuff like Eternals with like actual like creators putting their stamp on the properties.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where like they hired James Gunn and he did the Guardians film. It's like it's an actual vision of a product, and you know, Joss Whedon for Avengers 1, and even what's his face, fucking Jon Favreau for Iron Man. So it's like, if you hire actual like creators who are pretty passionate, you can create some content that I think resonates with people a lot more. But you know, I'm not sure because, you know, Eternals is not that well received by critics, so who knows. Yeah, but you know, like Omar said in chat, Star Wars has been around for 50 years by this point, so who knows. But the difference is that Marvel puts out way more content way more frequently than Star Wars did in those 50 years.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's just I'm not sure if it's a perfect comparison, but it is interesting to think like, yeah, if Star Wars is still around, there's a chance that Marvel MCU probably still would be around.
It's also worth considering Star Wars origin is films, so therefore in some way it will exist from a film point of view more so than, let's say, others. Whereas Marvel started in a different medium format, so there could be the potential that it goes away from films and focuses more onto what's either traded media formats or its original.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
There's a lot of factors that I don't think we can predict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the big question really is whether it will continue or not is around Feige. What happens when Feige goes?
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like who's gonna replace him, and I don't think Feige is a great, I guess, showrunner of the MCU, but maybe they could get someone even worse. So who knows?
And then there's also the question of what do you do to keep either characters ongoing past an actor, so probably a recast, or with the new characters you have, because Iron Man, for example, is dead. So what do you do? Do you keep them dead throughout the however many years, or do you recast the individual? I like with Star Wars in 50 years, you didn't have the main characters die off to the sequel trilogy, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, Leia, Han, and Luke are still alive. Yeah.
Iron Man, Captain America, well, Steve Rogers, Captain America, are now all already dead. So, well, it depends how they take those directions. There's Spider-Man as well. Spider-Man's a big question mark inherently because of Sony, and No Way Home is probably going to answer some, but
Yeah, that's also a good point that Spider-Man and being owned by Sony and actually being like full on just MCU is a thing that could potentially harm them because Spider-Man is easily the most influential Marvel character. So yeah, it's another thing. Like there's too many factors to actually understand it, but I do think they're gonna still be around for a pretty long time.
20 years at least.
Yeah. All right.
Stock in this, okay? I just want you to know that although it's fun to play the Rotten Tomatoes game, I don't put any stock in the critic score and I don't put any stock in the audience score. This whole website is a joke. It's just funny to get involved in woke on woke crime.
What?
Woke on woke. I was agreeing 100% with him until he said that.
Yeah.
What? Woke
like,
on woke.
Yeah, this is all true. Where are you going with this? What just happened?
That's a bigger plot twist than anything in an M. Night film. It's just out of nowhere. Oh yes, woke on woke crime.
Woke on woke.
What the fuck is happening?
Let me go back. Hold up.
Oh my god.
Zero stock in any of this, okay? I just want you to know that although it's fun to play the Rotten Tomatoes game, I don't put any stock in the critic score and I don't put any stock in the audience score. This whole website is a joke. It's just funny to get involved in woke on woke crime.
Okay. So, is he implying that any time a film that has diversity in any form and the critics and the audience have a different opinion, it has to be woke on woke crime?
I guess.
I'm still trying to fathom what woke on woke crime is.
This is what the fuck. This is insane already. We're like a minute and a half in.
So you've either got Nerdwodic using Rotten Tomatoes to support his point despite saying it's a poor source. Or you got
Oh my god.
Okay.
I just found a video from it says instant regret. Eternal Star commits woke on woke crime.
What?
Oh my! Send the link in the chat, please, if you can.
I am so confused. Hold up.
Just so I can
This
get
is
at
the
least a
video.
screenshot. Yeah.
I searched up woke on woke crime on Google, and this is what I received.
Okay. Oopsie doopsie. Oopsie doopsie. I'm just sending it again to get the link with it. Copy image address. This is what CV is talking about. Instant regret. Eternal Star commits woke crime. Oopsie doopsie. Oh my god, this guy's such a fucking joke. I love it.
Okay, let me see if I can actually find the definition. Let's see. Definition. Okay.
These thumbnails are garbage. What do you mean? Don't you love these speech bubbles randomly put on that say fucking the most boomer shit I've ever seen? They're great.
I'm so confused.
This is hilarious.
Okay, so this is about Kamal Nanjiani saying, looks like we're upsetting the right people. Eternals opens November 5th, and that was about Eternals being reviewed bombed on IMDb, receiving hundreds of one-star reviews from users criticizing the movie's LGBT plus Q representation.
Then how is that woke on woke then?
Despite not having watched the movie. Yeah, I don't understand. And also, even if some of them are valid, the article isn't saying, well, the article header isn't saying all of them. It's tackling the ones that are definitely review bombing, which inherently exists with these kind of products.
I mean, yeah,
There's
review
gonna
bombing
be-
exists both ways. It's the thing that that happens. Yeah. I don't
Hold up,
understand.
I'm about to tweet something. Hang on, I'm about to tweet something. This is gonna be really funny.
Okay, I am eagerly awaiting.
Okay, hold up. If I can, this can work properly. Okay.
Fuck, I'm trying to retweet what Tin just said. Fuck's sake. Come on. Okay. Did not work.
I'm just like...
okay. I know. I just tweeted it.
Alrighty.
This is the perfect one.
It didn't show up.
Hold up. I'm gonna send the link in the chat.
Oh yeah, I just saw it. Oh. Hold up. Let me put this on stream.
Okay, there's the link. If anybody couldn't find it.
That's amazing. For fuck's sake, dude. Oopsie doopsie.
Black stabs. I've got a joke for you. Black stabs in Asia. What type of crime is it?
What type of crime is it?
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue from that, I guess.
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
Ripper, I'm nicking that all day long, mate. All day long, every day. So first and foremost, when the film started and we saw the Kit Kat floating in space, going past the sun and arriving on Earth, there was
you
a
mean the
very
spaceship?
grand
The
sense.
Domo.
The cinematography was set so that you had a large field of vision, and the Kit Kat felt quite small and insignificant, which gave the universe some grandeur. Which, when
I just want to say I agree with this. It's like the way they shot it made it seem like the universe is like huge and powerful. And you know, it also even showed the kind of, I guess, the I forgot the word. What were we gonna say, Jeb? I'm gonna try to remember the word.
I was just so confused because I kind of zoned out. I heard Kit Kat and I'm like, what?
Oh, he's calling the Domo Kit Kat for some reason. I don't know why. The ship he's calling it Kit Kat.
Oh, well, that's why I was confused because I look at that and I don't think.
But Domo's a
chocolate
triangle.
bar.
And Cat is wrong fucking shape.
I
It's
don't
a
understand.
Idiot.
I don't. Sure.
Yes.
Kit Kat on Kit Kat crime.
they
On cat crime.
decide to speak to the Celestials later, the Celestials look pretty damn good and pretty damn ominous.
I agree.
Yeah.
As soon as they arrive on Earth, we have the most generic introduction to these people.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm pausing because I'm actually quite upset that he said that. So what is so when they arrive, first thing they do, for these people they've never seen in this fucking planet they've never been to. First thing they do is they save the kid who's gonna be attacked by a deviant. Makari, saving people, and then we get a showcase of each of their powers while doing that. And then we have the other characters who are on the ship show up. So, for example, we have Cersei, and then the last thing she does in that scene is she, change that dagger, and it looks like golden and shit like that. And it's like, oh shit, they're here to help humanity. And Cersei, I guess her wonder of meeting humanity for the first time and seeing these beings is quite impressive to her. It's like quite endearing. It already characterizes her. And then we have also a druid calming everyone down, showcasing how his powers could be useful, and showing how like their plans of attack usually rely on Icarus, you're gonna try to fight against this one with your laser powers, while the other ones, Gilgamesh is gonna fucking combo with Thena to try to distract the deviants and kill them, which shows how they work together as a team pretty well. But also showcases how they're really well trained for these fights in a way that but each of them has a special ability that is relevant to a certain aspect of battle, and I think that all showcases quite a bit. I wouldn't say that's generic, because I don't think there's ever been like an opening fight scene that showcases so much character and setups in the MCU like that before. Even Guardians shoot that opening fight scene was just them fighting that big monster and a few jokes with Drax, trying to fucking cut the monster open from the inside. So yeah, I'd say this is not generic at all, actually.
Yeah.
I'm glad you agree.
Thank you.
We literally just have deviants appear out of literally nowhere.
They were.
What?
It's from the
So there's a
water.
thing called the ocean. It covers 60% of Earth.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
There's a lot of water. Let's look up how much water there is just for you. How much?
Isn't it like 2/3 of the Earth?
Yeah, it's around
Yeah, but
60 to 70%. Yeah.
I want the exact. It's 71%, but I want the exact like cubic miles. Okay. According to the US Geological Survey, there are over 332,519,000 cubic miles of water on the planet.
Yeah.
And 321 million of that is in the ocean. So
There's quite a
Don't
bit of
think-
water they can hide in.
yeah,
Hot take, but
Yeah,
yeah.
just a puddle.
Fuck's sake. Literally out of nowhere, for fuck's sake, guys.
Gobbling up villagers who have no emotions on their face.
What? They were
panicking.
They were panicking.
panicking.
They have no emotions. No, they do have emotions. They even try to attack the Eternals because they're scared, and then Druid calms them down. And like
Yeah.
when the first thing he attacks, the kid's dad is like run, and shows emotion because his kid was put in danger. What?
And then he dies.
Yeah. I'm confused, Mr. Babyface.
Nor will they, as heroes, inverted commas, come to save them with no emotion on their face, nor will they, throughout the course of the whole film,
What?
firing off laser beams and
Hang on.
No. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna rewind. Is he saying that none of the Eternals show emotion?
gobbling
Yeah,
up
that's
villagers
exactly what
who
he's saying.
have no emotions on their face, nor will they, as heroes, inverted commas, come to save them with no emotion on their face.
No emotion on the.
Did he watch the scene where Icarus breaks down and basically shows a whole lot of emotion? You know,
Yeah,
just a bit of emotion.
After
No.
Ajax dies, or Cersei throughout the film, she emotes so much. I'm sorry, but she does. Fucking
Fastos with the nuclear bomb.
Oh yeah, that scene he breaks down as well. We can
Tina,
see
Gilgamesh-
fucking Ajax.
Tina,
There's a
when
moment
Gilgamesh
where
dies.
that too. Well, Athena when she kills the crow as well.
Yeah.
Fucking, if we're just gonna end up citing the entire film because they do show a lot of emotion. The actors are great. I don't understand it.
Also, someone asked, IT guy asked, wouldn't the Celestial taken out of Earth as much as it did destroy the Earth as we know it? That was a bit broken in the film. Yes.
Yeah, Jab agrees. Yeah,
Short answer.
yeah, pretty much.
Why didn't
The
the
other
Celestials
thing,
make the-
yeah, why didn't Celestials make the Eternals basically emotionless robots? We already have precedent for this being possible in the MCU, considering the Iron Legion. Yeah, but the Iron
That's
Legion
not
is
the
not
same.
as advanced as the mind that the Eternals have. And also, we don't know if the Celestials could create life without just a mind of its own, a free will, I guess. But also, if you program something like that, you do know that it could create a mind of its own if it's like an AI. So, for example, Ultron was literally that. He was an AI so advanced that he created its own mind and its own purposes to try to achieve the end goal, which was peace on Earth.
Celestials would don't forget them emotions, their capability of dying, bleeding, etc.
They're very durable, and you don't know that they couldn't make them to not die. I mean, they don't die when the emergence happens because of the energy from like the emerging celestial, but like you don't know he could have made them not being able to die or to at least take each other out, which actually is helpful if they can have mad weary, right?
Yeah, and Kang established there was no free will law. At the end of Loki, free will was granted technically. So,
Kinda, yeah.
yeah. So free will is.
Oh yeah, Vision is also like
still a
that.
thing.
He's a computer. He's just an AI with extremely advanced properties, because he's the
So
Mind
I'll
Stone mixed with fucking Banner and Tony and Ultron.
Also, to speak from a person with a tech background, in robotics, a big concern is if you create a self-learning AI that's advanced enough, it could learn how to get to its protocols and rewrite them in a way where they make more active choices and stimulate certain emotions. Why not make them all have infinitely extraordinary powers? Why give them some extraordinary powers and one of them has finger guns, lol?
I hate this argument. Sorry, but yeah. So we know that energy is not infinite in the universe, right? The film even establishes that the universe is in a constant exchange of energy, which means the law of conservation of energy is a thing. Which means that the Celestials, using their own energy to create Eternals, they have a finite amount. By that logic, that means that they cannot give every one of them the same powers. Logically, if you just want to infer that, they cannot give every one of them the same insane powers because that would require more energy. And you would think, well, it's just a couple people you need to make more stronger, but you also need to remember that each celestial takes care of a gazillion fucking planets at once, which means like 10 Eternals for each of those billion planets, which is a lot. And so you need to be efficient with your how you spend your energy, as opposed to simply being making them all super powerful and then expanding all their energy you can have. Celestials have infinite time to gather the energy to make better Eternals since they were there before the beginning of the universe. That doesn't track. They create Eternals because they created the Deviants, so they don't have infinite time. They had to create the Eternals after the Deviants were already a thing that they made and screwed up.
And you can't have infinite time to gather the energy. That's always got a certain capacity to it.
Yeah.
That's
Like I said, law of conservation of energy. You can't just create energy out of nothing. That's not how that works. You're gonna end up spending energy anyway. Oh, Mad Vicket in chat.
And also, I think a faithful reference to be had is the reason why they're not all OP is so that, let's say something went wrong between them as a group, you could kind of have some work together to deal with them rather than it always be at a stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
So you tactically give them certain powers. That's why Icarus wasn't able to beat everyone.
Exactly, yeah. He's the most powerful, but he's still not like super.
Advocate joined the chat.
Yeah. Good old Flash. 5 numbers. I don't remember what the numbers are after.
You're probably a atheist, so you don't believe in him. Probably subjective criticism is all there is.
Exactly. If you don't believe in God, there is only subjective criticism. That is how that tracks, literally.
What was the tactical nature of finger guns? I thought he used more than just finger guns. He was able to
Most useless.
generate
Yeah,
blast out of his hands in some forms.
well, yeah, but that's still finger guns. But it's like, yeah, it's still powerful enough. It's like, yeah, I can create another Celestial who still has powers that can still hurt fucking not Celestial. Okay, I could create another Eternal who still has powers who can hurt Deviants, and especially if he charges it up. Like he was able to kill that Deviant by headshotting it.
Why didn't the Celestials take out deviants out their own planets? 2 reasons. One, the deviants are heavily implied to be all over the universe that have evolved, which means the Celestial would have to travel to each point in the universe to try and take them all away. Hence why he deploys the Eternals instead to do his work, while he can focus on other things. So wait, why didn't the Eternals fight Thanos? Marcus, you can explain that one.
Right. So, let's say they knew Thanos' plan. Somehow, I'm not sure how Ajax would know, but she knew, and she contacted Arishem. Was like, "Oh shit, Thanos is here," and he's like, "Oh shit, he's gonna try to wipe out half the universe," and she's like, "Oh shit, let me gather the other Eternals." The only 2 Eternals who could have possibly gotten there in time for the fight would have been Icarus, because he can fly, and Makari, because of her super speed. Now, Makari was in the ship. I assume Ajax would have probably been able to reach her, maybe be able to reach her in time, not sure. Icarus was in hiding. Nobody knew where he was. So, of all the Eternals for her to contact, those would be the 2 that she would go to, right? She would not have been able to contact those 2 in time, even assuming everything going like, yes, they did try to intervene. They would not have gotten. She would not have been able to contact them in time or get them there in time, because it all happened in like a day in Infinity War. Which is why Cersei herself uses that excuse, because I imagine that, assuming that all I said is true, Ajax would not have gone to Cersei, because she just would not have been useful in that scenario. But let's assume also that Ajax just didn't fucking try to contact anyone. Does she know Thanos' plan? They're also following Arishem's word of just waiting now because they got rid of all the deviants. They're just waiting now until their mission is complete. And because of that blind faith they put in them, they put in Arishem, especially Ajax and Icarus, I do think it's in character for her to be like, okay, so we're not going to interfere with this because of Arishem's orders. Especially because also she didn't want to get attached to the planet, so she didn't want to meddle in this kind of stuff. So that's also in character for her.
I also want to add as well, the universe is a cycle. And it's on like this, what's known as a natural clock. With Thanos taking out half the universe, you're not actually causing disruption to the clock. You're just regressing the clock to a certain point, but then the clock still progresses as it always has done. Mm-hmm. It's like go back in time at a certain point.
Yeah, and also like on a macro scale for like a being that is, celestial, having to wait a couple more decades or a century or 2 is not that long of a regress, especially when there are other billion planets going through the exact same thing. So it just means the cycle was delayed, but not just undone. Like it's all like it's back to ground zero.
Like with Earth, because Earth hasn't gone through the cycle, that means all these planets can't go through the cycle, and it has a knock-on larger effect, rather than it all starting at the same baseline and continuing the progress as it always has.
Yeah. It's the exact same cycle happening with every planet. It's just delayed. And then everyone comes back, and it's even faster then.
So wait, why did Dissecting give the Eternals free will? So just making them mind's address to kill deviants.
We already talked about it, yeah. If you want to rewind, like 10 minutes. That's probably when we talked about it last. So yeah. I think that's it. You guys gonna watch Modern Fringy discussion on Eternals. From the clips I've seen of what Fringy has said, I am quite upset with the way he summarized the characters. So I'm not sure if we're gonna cover that. Especially because watching an EFAP on ECUM seems kind of like a weird thing to do, and also Fringy really annoys me. I really don't like listening to his voice, him and Rags.
Let's put it this way: Friggy still, to my knowledge, doesn't understand why Icarus killed himself.
Oh
despite
yeah,
it being
he
explicitly
not only
laid
did
out.
he not understand after he summarized in the EFAP they did on it, which Mahler and Rags did not watch the film. He made them also not understand why he would kill himself, which I think is hilarious. So you know.
Yeah.
So yes, let us continue.
Nor they, throughout the course of the whole film, firing off laser beams and pew-pews from their hand. Not even joking. Pew-pews from their hands to fight back these very...
The motherfucker is such a Chad. He has literal finger guns and he makes them look cool. What a fucking Chad. Kingo is awesome.
And he misrepresents the film by going, characters do this.
How do you mean?
So there's a difference between going, one character does this rather than characters does this. If you go characters, it makes them seem like they have the same abilities and they do all the same ridiculous things.
Yeah.
So it makes the issue that he has bigger than it actually would be.
Yeah. The discussion convinced SK the movie was bad, so I think we should go over. It did not. SK already thought the film was bad, and then he watched the coverage to see what Fringy said, and he said he agreed with pretty much all of what Fringy said, and the little of what I've heard from Fringy is not really all that accurate. So I don't know. SK also said YMS's video was good, which no, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah, I don't know why he thought that. And also, I've debated SK on one point, and we both concluded, okay, we'll rewatch the film, gather our notes better.
Yeah, when we talked to SK about it, he said he needs to rewatch the film to be sure. So yeah, the discussions will be had, but yeah, I don't think EFAP's takes on this film are all that great.
Porking CGI messes of creatures back into the water.
I mean, I didn't think that deviants looked bad at all, but alright. I mean, at least with Gary, he showed visuals. I have no idea why he thinks they look bad, and he's just saying it.
Pretty underwhelming. Then all the cast come into place, and we have the most loveless, emotionless coming together of two characters. Cersei and
Ridiculous.
Icarus, played by Gemma Chen and
Just get to your point already, God. Almighty.
I keep saying Marsden's, but it's a Madden, isn't it?
It's Richard Madden. It's not Matthew. What?
It's not a complicated name.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. You got the name right.
Slow.
Dominic sent a super chat saying, but Marcus, Icarus flew into the sun. That's ridiculous. I know, right? It makes absolutely no sense why he would kill himself at the end of the film after he literally failed his entire life's purpose. I have no idea why he would do that.
Also, I like how he's saying this is the most loveless, and I'm like, I can think of 5 examples where romance is done worse. Ray and
Oh
Kylie.
shit! Wait, does he mean when Cersei says "beautiful"? Isn't it when looking at the at Earth? Because that's the only moment they interact in that first scene.
I think he's going to refer to sex scene.
No, but he just said
Yeah.
that. Oh, okay. I thought he
I
was still
feel like
referring
he's-
to the opening
he's-
scene. Okay, so he needs to script this shit because Jesus Christ.
I think he's talking about like the first moment where they're like, or they first connect, like on the beach.
Right. Yeah, because that's what I assume as well.
Isn't it? Matthew Matt. of Game of
Matthew
Thrones fame,
Matthew
and
Madden.
they just have no chemistry.
Hard
Yeah.
disagree on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Is hard to it is hard to disprove that without the film on hand, but I disagree with that a lot.
Zero
Vinny Sims
chemistry
thing.
between them
Watch Cosmonauts
whatsoever,
review. It's really bad.
and they
So I've heard there are a lot of Eternals videos that we have on the Doctor cover actually. So we'll see.
Yay.
Though today it's probably gonna be this video and maybe another one if you have time. So yeah.
Yeah.
and they just have no chemistry. Zero chemistry between them whatsoever. And they are meant to get themselves involved in this 7 millennia love affair.
5 millennia. She literally she says explicitly in the film that she was with him for 5 years. Like she says that verbatim to Dan, but whatever.
Which is never explored.
It's never. Are you joking? Do you know the reason why fucking Icarus didn't kill Cersei at the end of the film?
Hang on.
Do you know why Icarus fucking let? Oh my god!
7 millennia love affair. Which is never explored.
Oh.
What the actual fuck?
It's literally the ongoing character conflict between Cersei and Icarus.
Yeah. She keeps wanting to know why he left, and he doesn't tell her because he can't tell her. It's like he says, if he had come back, he would have told her because of how much he loves her, and that's why he left. But also, at the end, he doesn't kill her because of how much he loves her. He literally has a fucking flashback montage to these moments of her just living like day-to-day life in the 5,000 years they were together and being like, oh shit, I love her. And the thing he loves about her is like her humanity, which I think is pretty some poetic irony, I guess. Jesus Christ.
Could you at least agree that the Vindicated Hedges was a bit of a lost plot thread with a very rushed conclusion?
No.
I wouldn't say lost plot thread.
That deviant crow, it literally exists to drive Thena's arc. Everything that it does is to drive Thena's arc, and the way it does so works with the film. So I don't think, I think people are putting way too much expectation on Crow when Crow isn't the main villain. He's pretty much a plot device to drive Thena's arc.
Yeah.
And also it works as a plot device to get the fucking Eternals together because they see, oh shit, it absorbed Ajax's powers, which is why they go to Ajax. Well, not why they go to Ajax. It's why they assume that Ajax was killed by the Deviant.
He isn't a MacGuffin. MacGuffin is something you collect in the film.
Oh yeah, MacGuffin is like the thing they're working towards getting, like
It's like the gauntlet in the final battle in Endgame.
Exactly, yeah. He's a plot device, yeah. He has a bit of character. He's pretty thin though. It's genuinely just him being like, oh yeah, you killed all of my species and we were just trying to survive, and now I'm mad. Yeah, not much more to it. It's pretty straightforward reasoning. So, you know, not a very layered character, which is why I think
McMuffin.
Really... McMuffin, yeah. All right.
Oh, somebody said Cosmo isn't as funny bad as he used to be.
I have not watched a Cosmonaut video in like a year, so I don't know. Probably last time I watched him was covering his sequels video on ECUM. So that was a while back.
The best Cosmonaut video is definitely his TASM one, as we can all agree.
Oh yes, of course. Definitely did not
we cover his Loki video?
Did we? Oh shit, we did. Yeah, it was on the stream. We covered him and Griffin, right? Film Speak.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, that was the stream. Are we going to watch Drinker's video? Potentially we'll watch it today. Depends on how much time we have, because we're spending a lot of time on this video as well. But But yeah, let's continue.
At all. And this to me is the film's biggest crime. It is 2 hours and 45 minutes long.
2037. It's literally on screen as! Literally.
Really?
Yeah, and that includes credits, by the way.
Yep.
So it's really like just 2 hours and 20.
Yeah, around that. Oh, Jesus Christ. YMS video should also be a high priority. It is. But I want to have Thought on for when we cover that. Because I think Thought's reaction to YMS's video would be hilarious.
It's very
Okay.
bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ. As are you, by any chance, blind? Well, clearly. Jesus.
And doesn't thread together any of the characters.
Really? Any? Like Gilgamesh and Athena. Did they not
It
have a
is
common
too-
thread between them? Genuinely. Or fucking Druig and Makari? What? Ajax
2
and
hours
Icarus,
and
Icarus and
45
Cersei.
minutes long. And it doesn't thread together any of the characters, all their motivations, all their relationships.
Are you actually brain dead?
Hang on, like let's. So we got a shining example: Gilgamesh and Athena. Gilgamesh chooses to protect Athena for all his life, and dies dead. So this informs Athena's arc, and also puts a satisfied conclusion when she kills the deviant that killed him. Cersei and Icarus have a conflict. Cersei and Sprite have a conflict because Sprite is jealous. Macaroy has a relationship with Druig. Phastos likes to keep to himself but hates Icarus, and also ends up reforming relationships. Ajax trying to protect them all, which is why Icarus doesn't want to kill her, but he has to. There's so much into it. To act like there's nothing is a complete lie.
I think you just woke.
Yeah.
Woke
How
on,
do you come?
woke
How
on
do you
as
watch
crime.
this film? How do you watch this film and go, there are no relationships, but then ignore Gilgamesh, Athena, or Icarus, Cersei, or Druig and Makari?
Well, it's right after he said Icarus and Cersei, but he said they had no chemistry. Which
Yeah.
is irrelevant to the point of them having a common thread and a relationship. So that's just wrong.
You also could see Druig in the film have conflict with Ajax as well, and some of the others like Icarus, because he wants to stop people fighting. So
Oh
then
yeah,
he goes off on
Icarus
his
and
own.
Ajax have a relationship. Even there's a small relationship between Athena and Icarus as well that's shown. Like all these 10 characters, they really all relate to each other in some way. And it's like, you know, we have fucking Sprite who literally is in love with Icarus, and that's why she joins him in the final battle. You know. And also because she's spiteful of humans because they can live a life that she wants but can't have. So, you know, there's quite a bit of a common thread between these characters and their relationships and their motivations.
All their emotions. At all. It literally wastes its time setting up the arrival of the Eternals, then jumping to present day, then jumping back to see.
Okay, as you don't need to have a film be 100% told chronologically. That is not the only way to tell a story. So, for example, when you're going to introduce a character in this setting of 7,000 years after he arrived on Earth, maybe it's good to show a bit of their backstory, a bit of character, and be like, oh, how did they react to this specific moment? Because this is relevant to their character. Oh, now I learn about their character. That is interesting. Let's see how they react to this new information that Ajax is dead, that the world is ending. Oh, shit. You know, that's what creates conflict. You establish a character and then you see how they would react to certain situations and events and people and shit like that.
Plus the fact that Icarus is the one that killed Ajax, that thread would not work if the story was told chronologically.
Oh yeah, for real.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
Fucking imagine Az watching Memento would lose his fucking mind.
Oh man, I need to see that now.
Yeah, for real.
I need to see him do a watch along of Memento.
Memento and Tenet. That'd be hilarious.
What the fuck is happening?
I just saw him talk to this woman and leave, and now he's meeting her for the first time. This makes no sense. What?
Wait, but this is the beginning of the story. Why is it at the end?
Yeah.
Why is it in black and white?
It'd be hilarious, dude. I love that so much.
Is this a allegory for being set in the 50s?
Allegory.
Oh, I need to see that now.
The movie does a good job going through important and helpful information like power sets and Icarus and Cersei's story quickly and well. I agree. Yeah, it needs to establish quite a bit, and that's why they do the flashbacks, because as opposed to just having exposition be like, oh yes, we work together, which she does say they work together, but we need to show them being together and what Icarus falling in love with her, and how that relationship is actually a thing that Icarus is afraid could impede his ability to do his job, which he says that to Ajax. But Ajax is like, no, you fucking live with her, you tell her how you feel. So there's quite a lot of character building stuff in those flashbacks.
And it's like parallel. It's like parallels because it's like you're seeing them present day and they're like all split up and they have to rejoin. But then you flash back to when they were all together and you get like a sense of what they were like and what they have to become again. So it's like a parallel between that.
Yeah, they're a team that separated for 500 years. It is quite interesting to think, oh shit, why have you been separated for 500 years, and how will it feel once you're getting back together?
Plus, if it was told chronologically, then there's that moment of like Ajax like telling them to go live their lives, and that doesn't work nearly as well.
Yeah.
If it was told earlier on.
Yeah, because then we wouldn't have seen them actually trying to live their lives.
Yep.
And
so
it would genuinely make Sprite's arc worthless. It would make it... Yeah, it would ruin Sprite's arc. So yeah.
See how the Eternals split, then jumping to another time period, then jumping back to present day as they enlist and find another one of the Eternals, then jumping to another time period, then jumping back to present day as they go and enlist another Eternal, while never developing any motivations between the characters.
Are you... You're joking, right?
I think you're dumb. Just saying, personally speaking.
No motivations.
Between any of the characters.
Like, Cersei's first scene shows her being, feeling wonder for humanity's, how far humanity has come. Yeah.
No motivation.
Yeah. It shows how much she loves humanity, and that informs why she wants to protect them so much, to a point where she's going against her creator. Is that not a motivation?
And that makes the ending work really well too.
It does.
So.
Yeah, or Druid, the fucking pyramid scene. Oh,
that is so good.
Yeah, when he goes and is like, I have the abilities to stop all these conflicts, and I haven't been able to for 6,000 years. Do you know what that does to a person? It's like, oh, maybe that is informing why he's doing what he is doing, and therefore informs why he would want to protect humanity. And even then, later, we have him like show how interested he is by humanity as well, when he says that he thought of taking away people's free will and just stopping them from fighting. But he realized that what makes humans so beautiful are their flaws, which I also love the way that they cut to Thena in that moment, because she's so fucking flawed, but she's great. And it's just, yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, no, I guess they don't have any fucking character or motivation. What a faggot this guy is, I swear to God. He's Defend the Menace's body positivity diversity hire. I don't know if you know that, CV, but Gary called Fastos a body positivity eternal in the last stream for like the entire entire video, even though they never mention the fact that he isn't like thin in the entire film. So,
Oh man, that's nice.
When it jumps to present day, we now discover that Gemma Chen's Cersei is ironically with Jon Snow, Kit Harington, and they are together. And we discover through Sprite, I believe it is, who was one of the better acted characters in the show, I gotta say.
In the show, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I confuse the two terms.
No, I'm gonna call him out on that.
I mean, yeah, the issue I think mostly
really
comes
funny.
from the fact that it's a video. You can script it. You can redraft it. You don't have to make an entire video in one take.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that. This is entirely one take. That's funny.
I mean, I'm pretty sure every one of his videos is like this. I don't think he edits anything. Which
that explains a lot.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, Sprite was great. The actress is like 14 now, which means she was like 13 when filming, which is insane. So yeah, props
so
to her.
good.
Yeah, she's great.
That her, Cersei and Icarus had split up about 100 or 200 years ago. So they were together for nearly 7,000 years.
5,000. They say that explicitly, you mongoloid. I swear to God.
All right, let's see where this is going.
And we never got any of it.
We never got any of it. What? We literally see them getting together. We see them having sex. It was the most explicit sex scene in the entire fucking MCU. What?
You just mentioned the flashbacks. Like,
yeah,
you should know this.
We do see them together. We see them getting married. What are you saying, as? What do you mean we don't see any of it?
We're just talking about this.
Yeah, there's a montage of them getting together and loving life together, and then literally fucking getting married. What the fuck?
Is he gonna talk about the sex scene? Like, is he gonna talk about it in the video?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We got the first initial snog and bonk.
Oh, he did. Okay.
And then after that, nothing.
As
the scene.
We don't need it repeated.
Yeah, we don't need to see the sex scene a bunch of times. We see them having sex, and then she says, "I love you," and then he says, "I love you." It's like, oh, that's nice. And then they cut to them living together, and the fucking well, I'm not sure if it's in the exact same scene, but that does happen later in the film, where we see like some kids like messing around with Cersei's hair, and Icarus is just looking at her. And it's just like, it shows how that he loves her, and you know, that version of her, how nice she is to people. And then we see them being together, and we see them fucking getting married right after. How is that nothing after? Like, actually, did you watch the film, man? I swear to God.
And because that was so brief, we never got to see how their relationship had really developed. You know, we got a quick little montage of them getting married, maybe.
So you do know about that.
So it's not literally nothing like you just said. You literally just lied. Like,
you just misrepresented the film.
10 seconds before. So 10 seconds before you say there is a montage of scenes of them bonding together, you say that there is nothing of them bonding together. How can this actually be a fucking human being who makes videos?
Imagine having no self-awareness.
I also find it hilarious. Maybe Friggy gave as a summary of the movie. Yeah, it sounds like it. But I also find it hilarious that he says getting married, maybe. It's like, yeah, they were getting married. It's not hard to make it out, I'm sorry.
Of them getting married, maybe, not sure.
How are you not sure? It's pretty straightforward.
I think that's what happened. I mean, it looked like a ceremony. They looked like they were getting married, but I don't know.
Yeah, we have all the Eternals looking at them and crying and being happy for them. But maybe they were getting married.
It could be a funeral. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe somebody just died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Icarus and Cersei were just ruining the funeral by having sex in front of everyone.
woke up, won't cry.
I swear to God. Ugh.
In India or something. But we
What?
never got any of how their relationship panned out throughout the millennia. What caused the fracture in the...
We do
No,
we do know. They say explicitly what caused the fracture, right? He left. He left because he knew the truth and he couldn't keep it in any longer. He would tell her, he would tell Cersei the truth about Tiamat whenever, if he continued to be with her. That's why he left. That's literally why they're not together anymore.
And she waited for him, and he didn't come back, so she moved on.
Yeah.
That's what this is like very early on in the movie. I'm pretty sure they talk about this.
Yeah. They say that he left. They only learned that he left because he knew the truth. Later on. Yeah.
But I mean, like, we learn like from Cersei's point of view pretty early on.
Yeah. And then for Icarus is in the Domo when he goes and destroys what Fastos was working on, and that scene, right?
It's like-
Everyone's there.
They make a big deal out of it. It's not something you just miss by
Yeah.
just blinking.
He's so dumb.
relationship?
Oh no, actually, isn't it the flashback? I'm pretty sure he says it in the flashback to Ajax when she says, "Oh, it's gonna happen in 7 days," and he says, "Oh yeah, I returned," and he's like, "Oh, it's gonna happen in 7 days," and then Ajax like, "Oh, you're gonna go see her or some shit." So yeah, it's in that scene where we learn it.
Yeah.
Panned throughout the millennia. What caused the fracture in their relationship?
What a
What
fucking
started
faggot.
to push them apart?
Nothing start. It's not hard. You just watch the film.
To the inevitability of their split? Nothing.
What
So
a
I
fucking
can't
liar.
invest in their relationship because the film didn't display any of it whatsoever.
Pete, you
And that
just
is-
cited scenes where it did.
I mean, it's like we don't even need to fucking respond to this point because first off, he's already contradicting himself, so whatever. And also, we've cited scenes of actually their being their relationship being shown, and or us understanding why their relationship fell apart. It's just the film does all this you're asking for, as you just like weren't asleep during it.
Is, like I said, the major crime. This film didn't do anything to
What?
make us
Oh.
attached to characters.
Okay, yeah, sure. The film is a fucking character study of all these 10 characters. I'm sorry. If you weren't attached to them, you gotta be some really apathetic kind of person. Because Jesus Christ.
If you're telling me you're not attached to the chat, that is Gilgamesh. I'm sorry.
Fucking for real, dude. Gilgamesh and Druig are fucking Chads. I mean, yeah, fucking Kingo's a Chad as well.
Yeah, like I loved Kingo. He was so good.
Fastos is a Chad.
Icarus is like the best character in the movie.
I would say so.
Yeah.
He's not my favorite, but he's the best.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like Icarus, I'm sorry, but that's a you problem.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, as we all know by Fringy's fucking summary, Icarus was assassinated, so yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he was, but also character-wise, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
We
Yeah.
discovered early doors that Angelina Jolie's Thena character is full of the memories of her past selves, shall we say.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a defect because the Eternals, mild spoiler, are not, human. They are constructs of the...
I mean, obviously they aren't human. We never thought they were human. Like, before we learned the truth about them, they were from a planet called Olympia. We know they aren't human. But, alright.
Celestials. And so they're kind of like biological machines. I mean, we're a biological machine. But they're
What?
He is right. He's in the sense that we are.
What?
I just didn't put about that. They are kind of like biological machines.
I need to hear this
I
again.
like biological machines. Philosophy with as.
And so they're kind of like biological machines. I mean, we're a biological machine.
Maybe. Perhaps we are, as perhaps.
Yes, that is anatomically speaking is correct. We do exist in the branch of biology.
Yeah. I swear to God. What the fuck does this mean?
Thank you, Az.
Thank you for telling me I am indeed alive. Bio literally means alive.
Life, but yeah.
Okay.
But they're essentially a biological machine that can be programmed and have its memory wiped. And every time they do a mission, after the mission,
What? Hang on.
I'm gonna tweet something about that. Hang on.
What are you gonna say, Joe?
I'm trying to. I know what he's trying to say. Just, you know, when you've got an ape trying to comprehend basic intelligence statements in a science experiment. This is as right now. It's like a toddler just coming out with some random shit.
You remember Jay's video? I think it was the Shroom video, or it was one of those, right? The life hacks videos. And there's a point where she shows a clip of a pigeon, and she's like, "Oh yes, the pigeons know how to read." And it's like, you know, teaching the pigeon to read. With like, oh, it shows a certain card, and then the pigeon gets a reward for doing what the card said. And it's like, oh, it's learning how to read, which obviously it's not. You know, it's just doing what the thing is telling it. I think Az is on that same level as that pigeon, where it's like he understands what he wants to say, but he doesn't understand what he's saying. And I think that's the best way to describe it. Also, let's see.
I just tweeted.
I'm just like, okay.
This is amazing. All right.
Thank you for that, Az. Thank you for that.
the mission, their memory's wiped. I won't say what the mission. Well, we'll come to the missions later. Whereas Angelina Jolie's has got a she can't seem to get rid of hers. They seem to come, and it's
that was a terrible way of phrasing it, but yeah, she's technically correct that her memories do come. Yes, her memories do come. Yes, I'm glad we all agree.
What a way to phrase yourself.
It's like, oh yes, her old memories keep flooding her brain. That is the way a normal person would say. The Chad as say, no, her old memories, they just come. They come.
They just come.
I love it when my memories come, dude. Whew, it's awesome.
Yeah, it feels very good. Yeah.
Fucking.
It's an allegory for mental illness, maybe. But Gilgamesh, early dawn.
Maybe it's obviously a allegory for mental illness.
Yeah.
I'm sure, whatever. Maybe.
Maybe it's a marriage. It could just be.
Maybe it's maybe it's an allegory
something.
for mental illness, but it's literally a mental illness. I don't understand.
It could just be like cancer or something. I don't know. I guess it could be mentally something. Possibly.
Swear to God.
Maybe in a way.
Was by a Korean.
Was okay.
With mental illness, maybe. But Gilgamesh, early doors, played by a Korean.
Okay. I'm glad we paused there for like 10 seconds to contemplate on the fact that the actor is indeed Korean. Thank you very much. That was needed.
It's a big Korean. Pause for dramatic
Pause, yeah. Gary did the same shit where it was like, oh my god, he's played by a Korean actor. In the comics, the character's not Korean. Oh my god, Gilgamesh is not Korean.
Woke on woke cry.
Oh my god. This video is so much more entertaining than Gary, dude. I swear to God.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, Gary
He's
said
Korean.
that
Pause.
Gary said that Athena's Mad Weary is PTSD, which obviously it's not. That was weird. Oh, that was funny. Played by a Korean. Sorry, I need to see this again.
For mental illness, maybe. Gilgamesh, early doors, played by a Korean.
The way he says it, look of disgust on his face. It's so funny. It's like, oh my god, he's played by Korean.
It just seems like he's like, oh yes, it's self-evident why this is bad, right? Yes, of course. I hate Koreans too, as yes.
Can you just believe he's played by Korean? Oh my god. Oh god.
Fucking hell.
Thank you for that, Az. Thank you for pointing out the ethnicity of the actor.
Oh, and did you know Richard Madden is played by fucking Icarus is played by a white guy?
What? Oh wait, I need to tweet about this too. Hang on. Okay, let's see. What should I
His
make
reaction
this
is
time?
hilarious. He's just waiting, like, yes, that is self-evidently bad.
Work that one out. But don't worry, they have an Indian guy played by a Pakistani.
Okay. Wait,
Did you just say
Wait.
Pakistani?
wait, he's not Indian. If the actor's Pakistani, then the character looks
Oh,
Pakistani.
Pakistani. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he like messed up his name or something.
No,
I was
no,
like, Kastani is not his name.
Yeah, but he's paid by a Pakistan. Then it just means that this version is, I guess, not race, nationality bent from the comics, but that doesn't matter because he's not an Indian character. None of these are actually from where they look like they're from because they are created by, fucking Celestial, what's his name? But Irishan. What?
They lean into that because Kingo, he's like a Bollywood star, but he's not an Indian Eternal.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, like Richard Madden, fucking Richard Madden. Every time I say Richard Madden, Icarus is not European, dude.
It's like, yeah,
I mean-
it's the actors. That's not.
Yeah, that's how the actors
correlates
look,
the
yeah.
character. Like
I
you
was
could
just like,
change them.
This guy is bizarre to me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand it.
It's like,
I thought he
I
didn't
need to
care
hang on.
about race.
What
Well,
are his exact words?
hold on,
What are his
just a
exact
sec.
words?
Just a
Early-
sec. Because
Okay.
so Safal said in chat, I thought he didn't care about race. You see, at least Az has not said that in this video. In Nerdrotic's video, Gary said like, "Oh, I don't care about your race, what's between your pants, who you're attracted to," and then later on in the video, he's like, "Oh, you see, but DC hired a woman of color," and I think that's pretty hilarious as well. I think the issue is the fact that India would take offense to an Indian character being played by Pakistani. Those two countries are basically mortal enemies. Yeah, but he's not an Indian character though. We just said.
Yeah.
His character is literally created by celestial energy outside of Earth. He's not Indian.
Yeah. Plus, it's not like they hate each other's guts or anything. It's like they're neighbors.
Also, I don't think India gives a shit that obscure character from comics is not Indian.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about India having issues with this.
Yeah. Or
And-
Pakistan.
Yeah,
So-
and
Yeah.
India is quite a big country with quite a few people. So, I think we would have heard some by now.
They have 1 billion people. So
If someone is Scottish, they are instantly the most entertaining character in that media. I agree.
Doors, played by a Korean. Work that one out. Don't worry, they have an Indian guy played by a Pakistani. Yeah, because those two countries get on real freaking tight. So they have a Gilgamesh played by Chad from Train to Busan, who's a Korean.
Okay, we know. You don't need to repeat yourself as you just said that. You had the 10-second dramatic pause. Don't worry. It's fresh on our
He's
minds,
doing
yeah.
this on purpose. He's doing this on purpose.
I think it's just kind of like how Gary calls the 13th Doctor, like, the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker. It's like you just repeat the same thing to be, like, funny, I guess, which is not.
I just saw this.
Played by a crazy applause for dramatic effects. That's amazing.
Decide
Nice.
to stay with Cersei because her mental breakdowns
Not
cause her to
Cersei.
fight.
See, this is why you write scripts for your videos as. It's not Cersei, it's Thena. You just spent like 5 minutes talking about Thena. It's not hard to get a character's name right.
The amount of mistakes in this, I'm at the point where I don't believe he watched the film properly. These are key moments in the film.
No, and it's not like Athena's name is hard to remember. Her character inspired Athena. I'm sorry. How retarded can you be?
Against anyone, essentially, which makes her fight against the Eternals as well. And when she's compos mentis, you know, she obviously doesn't want to fight them. So Gilgamesh decides to give up his
Life.
future, his life, whatever you want to say, to look after Cersei, to look after Athena, to make sure she's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at what this pause. He looks so fucking disgusted. Look at that face. I'm sorry, CT, you need to change it to this. Oh my god.
Hold up. Okay.
I'm sending the Senate.
Okay.
He looks so fucking disgusted.
He gives up his future for Athena.
Oh my god. I swear to God, if he says that Gilgamesh was just like simping or some shit, I'm gonna get so upset. Whew. All
No,
right.
you know who was simping? Freaking
He's gonna call a cook. I know it.
the Mandarin from Shang-Chi. That's the
Oh, that
simp.
Wenwu
That's
is the
simp.
biggest simp in history, yeah.
He discovered females and
Yeah, he discovered females after 2,000 years.
Madness.
Also, by the way, the film confirms he's Genghis Khan, which means he actually raped a bunch of women, by the way. Just putting that out there. Just putting that out there.
And that 1 in 200 men today are descendants of Wenwu.
Well, isn't it 1 in 200 in Asia? I don't think it's in the entire world. I think it's Asia.
I
I think it's in the world.
the profile picture.
Oh, yes.
Let me check. I'm starting to see.
See, Az is now staring into my soul whenever I look at CV's BFE, and I think that's pretty great.
Let's read this again. Did you?
Open League makes a video about Eternals. Oh, we'd cover that in a heartbeat. That'd be hilarious.
TC, you need to leave the chat. That hot take is terrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry, TC, but Angelina Jolie is really hot.
Where's the 1 in 200? Yeah, it's in the world.
Oh, it's in the world.
0.5%,
Okay.
0.5% of men in the world.
Oh, that's neat. That's good to know that Wenwu has, you know, just a future. He's Genghis Khan. What?
Wait.
Yeah, in the film.
Did you say 1.5? Did you say 1.5%?
0.5%.
0.5. Okay.
Yeah. Kopaizo, in the film, Wenwu is like, I've been called many names, and he lists a few names, and one of those names he says is Master Khan. So yeah, he's Genghis Khan, you know.
So like Az would just be like, oh, so Kingo is a descendant of Genghis Khan. That's what this means.
Of course.
Woke on woke crime.
All right.
Man.
All right.
That's it. We never see anything again after that until current day.
Yeah,
Well,
because he left.
What do you want to see? What do you want to see?
Yes, they left for 500 years for him to take care of her. That isn't the... Why would we see? We know what happened. He took care of her for 500 years. What?
He wants to see her like just there and
Just randomly.
Yeah.
But so he's complaining that the film cuts to these random places and random moments in time for no reason. But then he says, oh, but we don't see them cutting to this place at random points in the film. So we don't know actually what happened in that time. Even though we do know because that she was going crazy and he took care of her. That's it. I swear to God.
Don't see the relationship between Gilgamesh and Thena grow. We don't.
Yeah, because she has mad weary. It's not gonna grow. She has a mental illness where she's incapable of functioning properly. I don't think their relationship is gonna grow. I think he's just taking care of her because he loves her that much. We're at a point where Genghis Khan is officially an MCU character. Amazing. I know, right? I love the retcons for world building.
me when a mental illness doesn't grow.
We are biological machines.
We indeed are. What a video.
see the sacrifice and commitment that Gilgamesh has given up?
We
He gives
do.
his life, you fucking moron.
We know he spent 500 years in a fucking cabin in the middle of nowhere with her, just so he doesn't put
Athena.
anyone else in
He
danger.
kills himself to save her.
But it
a
doesn't
cute
grow.
man.
It needs to grow. Is the thing. So
Yeah, I'm so confused. We see the sacrifice. Like, he literally sacrifices his life. He dies to protect her. How is that not seeing the sacrifice?
And every time we can implicitly know that every time he tries to calm her, he could die.
Yes, and we also know that he is giving up the chance to live a life, which is exemplified by the moment where Athena says that Gilgamesh called Druid once to put her to sleep so he could take a vacation to Fiji. And I'm sorry, I don't think he was able to do it, because if he was, then Athena would just Druid would be able to put any of the Eternals asleep, and I don't think he can, because he never does it in the film. So I think that as it exemplifies, like, oh yeah, I wanted to take 1 week away and I couldn't.
Fourth, no, we don't see reductions in her mental state.
What?
No,
Hmm?
that's it, folks. Just
We literally do. When we first meet her again in the present day, Gilgamesh says, oh yeah, ever since the Deviant attack, she's no fun to be around. And then she tries to attack them, and he calms her down. And then we have fucking Sprite using her illusions to calm her down. What?
where's the growth?
I don't know, CV. I don't know. Ah,
Oh, much better. Much
that
better.
is much better. Yeah.
It's like a raging moment. Every time I save these images, I just add an extra Z to as.
So it's just as moment. He's like as moment.
It's just as. I think I just had like 5.
It's gonna be like you just fell asleep on the Z key, just as.
Exactly. Yeah,
The
I
most
thought the
recent
line
one had,
was
like,
more. I thought the line was more of a joke since he tried to put her to sleep, but it wasn't able to. Yeah, he says like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to go to Fiji," and it's like I think he just wanted a break, and he's making a joke for all of them. But I don't think that he actually was able to, because if Drug had that power, that ruins quite a bit. And I think it's more impactful from a character standpoint to just be him being like, "Yeah, I wanted to take a week just to have a vacation, but I couldn't, and that's fine."
Like this. This is what I have. Hold up.
All right.
Can I send it, please? Yeah, like that.
Hold on. Here it's beautiful.
take it as given. Just take it as given. And the reason that's why the Eternals split up is because Ajax, played by
Ajax.
the buxom Salma Hayek, God bless you, and all who sail in you.
He's
This is how you could tell when someone's a virgin in life.
yeah, for real.
That's a soapy Kunz sentence.
That is it.
so
Oh, that's so soapy. Oh my god.
That's so cringe.
Wow. Okay.
That made me physically uncomfortable.
Says, go your own way, discover your own adventures, and when we one day
That's not okay. Let me actually recap what he means to say here. So, in 1521, they dealt with the last deviants, but that siege was happening in South America. We saw the pyramids and shit like that. And then they were like, okay, so we just have to wait now until we're called back for our mission by Erisham. That was as they knew since the beginning. They didn't know what the end of the mission was. Only Ajax knew, and she tells Icarus right after that pyramid scene. And she's like, okay, so you live your lives, and then whenever we return to finish our mission, you tell me all about it. It's like, yeah, we have nothing else to do now, and I want you to be happy in the time we have until the end of our mission. And yeah, that's what was said in that scene, not whatever the fuck Has is saying.
meet up again, you will tell me your stories.
Yeah.
So obviously Gilgamesh is sacrificing all of that for Athena.
Yes, because he's a Chad.
Mentioned? No.
What the fuck do you mean? What?
What?
That is
Did you just say
mentioned.
men-
What?
Did you just say mentioned?
Yeah, he's saying that it's never mentioned in the film. Except
How do you gather that then?
But Thena literally mentions it though. She says that once she asked Gilgamesh why he was protecting her, and that he said that when you love something, you protect it with everything you've got, and it's the most natural thing in the world. That is mentioned. He literally dies to protect her. How is that not the film acknowledging it? Oh my god. How retarded can someone be? We're not even halfway through this video. It's been 2 hours.
The answer to your question is yes.
Stop with these fucking dramatic pauses. I hate you so much, Az. Oh my god.
Sprite, who is
just
who
move on to
looks
Sprite,
like a
okay.
14, 15-year-old girl.
She's played by a
That's what she
13-year-old
is.
actress. Yeah, I think that's the point he's building up to. But yeah, she was played by a 13-year-old actress at the time she was 13. So 15 is a bit much, but yeah.
Because the Eternals never age, stays exactly as she is. And her drawback is that she's split between 2 worlds. She can't age, so she can't grow up, she can't fall in love, she can't experience what adults would experience
Yeah.
because she's a kid.
Yeah.
And she'll always be treated like a kid, even though she's 7,000, years old into this.
Sorry. Dominic said, you see, Marcus, we did everything sped out for us. How else would we know Giga Chad cared for Athena? I understand you're being sarcastic, but the film literally had that line that I mentioned where he says, if you love something, protect it with everything you've got, and it's the most natural thing in the world, which literally says that he loves Athena. So I don't understand Az's brain, how it works.
Chasing, I think, as in the Fandom Menace likes the Bayformers movies because they sexualize women constantly. I wouldn't doubt that.
For real.
1,000
Based on that
years
reaction
old
to
into
Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
And is it really
Imagine
gone into-
as when he sees a Transformers movie.
Oh my.
Just imagine.
He sees
him.
one scene with fucking Megan Fox and he loses his fucking mind.
He fucking dies.
His memories would come. His memories would come.
He's turned into a biological machine.
Are Transformers biological machines? The Autobots. I would say they are biological machines as well.
Yes, he becomes a transformer. At the mere sight of a woman.
And is it really gone into?
Yes.
No, it's just
What? How is it not? The first scene in the film, we see her
Right.
pretending to be an older woman and flirting with a guy, and then she leaves. That shows that she can't be with him. And then we have the scene with Kingo talking to her and using the Peter Pan analogy, being like, "Yeah, Tinkerbell has always been in love with Peter, and she can't be with him." It's just, yeah, that is explored. And then we obviously have her joining Icarus at the end, which makes sense, especially with how she talks to Cersei in that scene where she stabs her and is like, yeah, I hate humanity because they showed me I wanted something I never knew I'd want, or I never thought about, which is to actually live a life and grow up and grow old. So that is gone into, like, it's not stated a gazillion times in the film because that's not how good filmmaking is. You don't need to spell out everything at every scene that she's on screen. I'm sorry, but she doesn't.
But then where's the growth?
Yes.
I need to know
Your
that.
growth. Shove your growth up your common memories.
Short gone.
blown over. It's just briefly.
Blown over. She becomes human by the end. How is that blown over? The end of her arc is literally fucking. We have Cersei going like, "Yo, do you actually want to be human?" She says, "More than anything." And she becomes
It's her entire motivation. It's her entire character, her entire motivation. It's her entire arc, and yet it's just blown up.
I don't understand this person. As how are you real?
mentioned, and then on with the introductions. An hour and 45 minutes plus of just reintroducing the characters back into the film.
I'm not gonna address this because I already talked about this in the last film, but introducing characters the way the film does not mean that the plot is not also moving on, and does not mean that the second act just doesn't start like 2 hours into the film. The second act starts right after the inciting incident of them going to Ajax. Well, I'd say the inciting incident is them being attacked by the deviant, and then the plot starts by them going to Ajax. And the plot is very like conventionally structured in terms of a third act structure. So it's just, yeah, if you want to hear my thoughts on it, just go to the last ECUM. Because Gary made the exact same fucking complaint because a moron.
I want to hear
Split up
Az's thought.
7,000 years ago, and now coming back together because the deviants have returned.
Not 7,000 years ago, 500 years ago. They were together for 6,500 years and they left for 500. But you know,
I think everything is just 7,000 years. Like it's all just 7,000
yeah,
years.
I think it's like, oh, this is 5,000 AD. You're like, okay, oh, not AD, BC. It's AD is future. BC. Therefore, boom, everything is gonna be 7,000 years, no matter what.
In modern day, after they thought they had wiped them all out, the Pakistani Indian goes off to become a Bollywood star and attempts to introduce a little bit of comedy into the film.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious.
You might find just a little much, which I did, but at least the character, even though he's been on social media acting like an asshole,
he did a bit of world crime, a bit of a
Wait, I'm sorry. He's been acting like an asshole? What the fuck did he do? Other than that thing you mentioned.
He said that pissing off people who review Bomb because of LGBT plus representation is good. Stay mad. Which, by the way, is what TFM do when people are mad at their opinions anyway. So
they say, oh, you're just mad because you're woke. It's literally the same thing. Like, even Jeremy, because we made fun of Jeremy a lot yesterday on Twitter, and he was like doing the exact same thing, or with like, oh yeah, see pronouns in your bio, get fucked. And it's just, yeah, you're mad because you're woke. It's like, no, not really. I could not care less. Or like how he fucking said that someone with a Frozen profile picture calling something cringe. And then in that same threads, someone replying to him, he said, "Oh no, yeah, Frozen is actually good." So you know, Jeremy is certainly also a human being. Kingo is great. I've heard it from a few people that they think Kingo's comedy is not the best. I really like Kingo and Patel, but I can understand that people may find it a bit much. So I don't know. Comedy is pretty subjective anyway.
At least the actor emoted.
But you just said that none of the actors emoted throughout the entire film. You said that like 5 minutes ago. What?
Yeah.
Yes, stop. For the love of God, script your videos, please.
We're not even halfway through.
Which is more than virtually everyone else did. And we discover that we're going to go into spoilers now. So if you don't want to know the spoilers, this is your time to click off.
He already spoiled the biggest twist in the film.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he said it was mild spoilers when he was talking about it, which I think is pretty funny. But whatever.
You kind of got an idea that I'm not enamored with the film.
Yeah, because you're retarded.
And we discover that
like, genuinely, you can't dislike the film. I could not care less. But for the reasons he's citing, he's genuinely just making up a film to be mad about.
Jack is dead in modern day.
Ajax.
And that's why they're trying to bring them all back together, because she's been killed apparently by a deviant.
Kinda. That's not entirely true. They go to Ajax because they were attacked by a deviant, and then they find out she's dead, and they're like, oh, I guess we gotta go get the others because we don't have Ajax anymore to lead us. but it's also because like Cersei gets the thingy from Ajax, so it's not entirely true, but it's not entirely untrue either. Like, I think the Phantom Menace can process that X-Men is woke all the time. Yeah, X-Men is the wokest shit Marvel has ever created. I think that's pretty funny that they love the X-Men show, that they're gonna they're continuing like the 97 X-Men animated show, right? Yeah, so they're like, oh no, it's gonna ruin it with being SJW because X-Men films and politics, that has never happened before. X-Men never touches on racial politics.
Wait, X-Men is an allegory for minorities being targeted?
What? No.
What?
What are you talking about?
No. I
Alright, so
thought
like,
it was just about random superheroes fighting each other. You mean there's politics?
what? That is
There's woke on woke crime.
woke on woke. Magneto and Charles Xavier fighting is woke on woke crime.
And in doing so, we just have like an hour and 45 minutes of collecting Eternals.
And building characters and building the plot.
Story.
Yeah, it's a character-driven story, so you introduce characters and you develop them in the meantime. The second act of a story is where you develop, where you introduce most of the stuff you're gonna develop to get to the third act when the conflict is at its peak, which is known as the climax. That is just normal fucking structuring for a film.
The scene where they're sat down in the trailer and Richard Madden says, I could lead the Avengers now that Captain America and Iron Man are gone. I'll refer to them by their proper names. And they laugh at him. That's not the case.
Yeah, because it's the
they actually agree that Icarus could run.
That's not exactly it. Kingo agrees because Kingo is fucking Icarus simp, and I unironically think he might be gay and actually have a crush on Icarus, but that is actually a theory I had when I was rewatching. I was like, damn, that it actually kind of fits, but whatever. But yeah, he really looks up to Icarus. Because he was even fucking making a film about Icarus. Not a film, a trilogy even, to tell Icarus' story. But then we have, I think it's Gilgamesh who says that he wasn't even picked by Ajax to be the next leader, which works for Icarus' character because he first off he wanted to be a leader, but second off because he knew the reason she picked Cersei was because Cersei would agree with her on having to save her as opposed to letting it die. So yeah, it's not exactly how he's saying it.
And when Ajax, who's the leader, dies, the leadership is passed to Cersei, whereas the rest of the Eternals thought it should have been passed to Icarus.
Only Kingo expresses that thought. Fucking degenerate.
But Icarus is a white man.
So. No, are you actually?
Holy! Wait. What did he say? Hang on.
He said Icarus is a white man, implying it's
just let it play. Just let it play.
It's passed to Cersei, whereas the rest of the Eternals thought it should have been passed to Icarus. But Icarus is a white man, so.
So, okay. I'm holding it myself so much right now, so I don't scream again. Okay, as Ajax was just killed by Icarus. In her last moments, who do you think she would choose to lead the people she wants to save the world? The person who just killed her because he thinks the world should end, or the person who has been in love with humanity since they first met humans 7,000 years ago? Now, does that have anything to do with race or gender? You fuck.
I'd go for the diversity hire.
I want to die. I actually want to just stop living right now. How in the...
That can be... We can arrange that. Oh my god. This picture.
But Marcus, she's in a white man, though. I know, right? If only they had swapped Icarus and Cersei's characters and arcs in this film and literally played out the same, then Az would think, oh no, this film is good because a white man is the leader of this group. Because he's a fucking moron. Sees everything through a political, racial, gender-focused lens because he's a fucking moron.
Okay, in this picture, as low-key looks like an actual pedophile. Like he legitimately looks like he's about to molest children.
For fuck's sake.
Tell me I'm wrong. Ooh, I'm gonna get you, kid.
Fucking hell.
Ooh, white kid.
Unless you're woke, kid, then I won't molest you.
Unless you're woke.
Sure.
The thing that
I'll
surprised me
give you some
most about that
candy.
the thing that surprises me most about that is the fact that Jeb wasn't the one who said it first.
For real?
The first thought that popped in my mind was the rebellion hat.
Shit, yeah. No, my god, the hat makes it worse. Oh no.
Yes, kid, step into my white van.
Ugh.
I have candy for you.
Oh my god, that's worse. Oh my god, look at that face. Oh no. Oh no. What the fuck? Oh my god. This is actually okay. Hold on, I'm taking a
Send me that
screenshot.
one. Send me that one too.
Yeah, I'm sending it without the fucking. I'm trying to send it without the. I can't. The more videos is gonna be over it, so whatever.
Hang on, let me full screen it so that okay, never mind.
Just pay attention to his face and how he changes in this
Could have
moment.
been passed to Icarus. But you know, Icarus is a white man, so we can't have that now. Thought it should have been passed to
Let me get
Icarus.
back. I didn't see it.
But you know, Icarus is a
Yeah, without the more
white
videos.
man, so
What the fuck was that? What did he be?
thought
So
that
he
was like-
became a fucking cat. What the fuck was that?
I thought that was one of you guys making a sound. I didn't know it was.
No,
actually
no,
him.
no. It's this actual man child. Yeah.
I hit puberty.
Would you like to see my carrot doing toys, kids?
Oh my god! Look at that shit-eating grin.
I wonder if woke stuff never took off. The Fender Menace would be on drugs spouting nonsense. Oh wait. Yeah. You just think I'm objectively dumber than you. That's amazing too.
can't have now, can we? So we go through fab, literally boring sludge of non-interconnecting storylines, not developing virtually any of the characters for us to give a shit about.
We've already disproved this, and if he doesn't qualify, there's genuinely nothing to respond to. He's just dumb at this point.
And 2 hours of the movie's gone, and we've got to spend the next 45 minutes wrapping up this
37.
very contrived third act, because there's essentially minimal plot in this
Here
film.
you go.
I'd agree with that. The plot is pretty minimal. It is a character study. It's kind of like Guardian's shoe in a way. But I don't think that's bad though. Like I think Guardian's shoe is the best MCU film, so you know, plotless films aren't inherently bad.
I have tweeted.
The plot is the Eternals were placed to let humanity thrive because there's actually a celestial buried in the earth, and then it's going to take all the life forces of the humans to
Sure.
birth itself into a new celestial. And then that celestial is going to allow new worlds and new life to develop.
Yes.
And then the cycle will continue
Yes.
as the celestial will be born from those Earths or those planets once it's reached its apex or whatever.
Okay.
And
Sure,
the
yeah.
Eternals decide to prevent the celestial from being born and save Earth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they decide not
That's
to
what
kill
happened.
7 billion people. That is correct. Yes.
Thank you for telling me what happens in the movie.
Yes.
For some reason.
Hold on. No.
Never.
What?
No. That's he's gonna say for never really explored. There's a specific scene where Ajax explains the reason why. He's seen this one planet being able to stop Thanos and half the universe being wiped shows how important it is.
Yeah, that's what makes her believe. That's just from Ajax's perspective, and then we have the scene where fucking Icarus goes into the domo, and we have them sharing their perspectives, and King goes like, "No, I agree with Icarus, but I don't want to fight you guys." So the reason he doesn't fight is because he loves them and they're his family. But then we have Cersei, who's in love with humanity. Druig, who's also really impressed by humanity and their flaws, because that's what makes them so beautiful to him. We have Makari as well, who it was pretty much the same, because we see her in the flashbacks being like really connected to some humans, and especially she really likes Druig, and she's not that's only like exploring from each character, but it's also like we're not gonna let 7 billion people die. Like, bruh.
Did you see Tin's tweet?
Yeah.
The new one.
Yeah, you want to see my character?
Blow up. Oh no! Oh no! Oh.
I was ready to go even further. I was gonna say fucking sex dolls.
I'm glad you restrained
wait.
yourself, Tim.
I have one. Hang on. Okay.
Yeah. Bye bye.
I'm
Hang
on a
on.
roll tonight.
Okay.
See
Let
your
me
character
find.
blow up though.
Let me find this one. No.
I just did one.
Oh yeah, Az, I need an
Oh, boy.
explanation for why Maxwell Lord has a half Asian son. Yeah, Az has definitely some takes. Phenomen's brain, everything is woke, and every girl needs to have Megan Fox or anime girl's body. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see what you do. Come watch Woke on Woke cry.
Hang on. Almost there.
Really gone
Okay.
into, other than there's a lot of humans.
Okay.
Oh my god, he's so dumb.
Imagine missing why Ajax got murdered.
Yeah, she literally says, like, no, we have to stop it. This planet, reverse the snap. The people from this planet, they managed to do it, and that's like, holy shit, look at how humanity never gives up hope. Look how beautiful they are. Like, the film in itself is a fucking love letter to humanity, pretty much.
Did you see mine? Hang on.
Did you share it? Phantom Menace from Pedro Pascal. Phantom Menace from Gina Carano. That's great. Hold up, let me put that on stream. 1 sec. Copy image address. All right, here. This is a CV's tweet. All right, come on, we're 9 minutes away from the end. I don't think we're gonna be able to cover the second one today. Not gonna lie.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Can't let the humans die. But they're programmed by the Celestial
No.
to
they're
do
not.
their job.
They're programmed by the Celestial to protect humanity up to a certain point, and because they have feelings and free will, which is something that he clearly cannot control, that's why he doesn't tell them the full story and only tells Ajax. And a big part of them wanting to of helping humanity grow is connecting with them, as you can see by Cersei helping out with like plantation and shit like that, and also fucking big part of why they would decide to go against their creator ultimately is because they connected with humanity for those years, as opposed to them just living among them and just fighting off the deviants, because they were trying to speed up their evolution, I guess, to get more to get more intelligent beings, and he kind of worked backwards to fucking Erisham's plan, because he didn't count that them being able to connect to humans would cause all this.
So it's weird that they can break their programming so easily, because humans. Whereas the only person
Okay, if you've spent 7,000 years observing and living with humans, maybe you'd grow attached to them. Just saying. Like, even Ajak, who knew what the mission was. There's a moment where Arishem says, "Do not become attached to this planet. Focus on your mission." It's like, yeah, even she knew. It's like, yes, humanity is actually quite wonderful, especially if you are able to take a look at them for like 7,000 years. Ah, fuck.
who stays on course is Icarus, who
And Kingo and Sprite, but yeah, only Icarus.
actually was responsible for the death of Ajax.
Ajak.
As she decided that instead of going ahead with, I think it's called the Ascension,
Emergence.
that they would decide now to help the humans, because the humans were responsible for
Undoing the snap.
defeating Thanos and preventing this and reversing the snap,
Yes.
and so the Celestial could be born back on schedule, whatever, blah blah blah.
What?
Okay.
Please script your videos for the love of God.
Good way of selling it out. Thanks. Blah blah blah. Right.
Oh yeah,
That
no, I
really
love
helped.
it. Yeah, that's definitely not an unfair way to talk
My
about this.
favorite, my favorite film review. Ah, yes, and I do this and blah blah and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, it's very
Woman.
easy to understand what he means. Yeah.
And so it ends up with Icarus, who some of the Eternals actually agree with.
So it's not only Icarus who's on the right side, is it? You fucking moronic piece of. Alright.
Sprite follows him. Pakistani Indian believes that Icarus is right, but stays with Cersei.
He doesn't. He's not even in the fucking third act. He leaves. He literally
He doesn't hurt
leaves.
anyone.
He literally says
he
he
walks
doesn't want
away.
to fight his family. How do you miss a film this much? Did you actually watch it? Or did Fringy fucking describe it to you? Oh my god.
You know, I've heard people say that Kingo shouldn't have just left.
What?
He should have been in the third act.
I mean, I think it would have been fun to see him in the third act because I like him, but I think it's completely reasonable for him as a character to not want to fight his family when the entire reason for him to leave Bollywood is to protect his family. So it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna fight them. I'm not gonna put them in danger. Ugh.
But no, Kingo, he just stays with Cersei. He just stays with Cersei. It's just...
And then they just all end up having a fight against Icarus at the end.
Yes.
No.
And then we get
I mean, not-
ridiculous dialogue where black gay man,
What?
because that
I beg your pardon.
His name is Fastos. Okay.
He has a name. He has a
Yeah.
name.
What if I were to call as the fucking fat
White fat cunt.
Yeah, white fat incel. That's how I'm gonna call him from now on. Okay, white fat incel. Oh, is that race? Is that offensive? Whoa, Fastos is not a fucking black gay man. He's Fastos, you fucking moronic cunt. I swear to God.
that's all he was.
What if I called you?
That's
fat
all
white
he was.
pedo? What if I called him fat white pedo? How about that?
Holy shit, dude. That's all he was. He was black and he was gay, even though they didn't show that he was gay until, like, I don't know, fucking an hour and a half into the film, because the fact that he's gay is irrelevant. What's relevant is the fact that he found the family he loves, and that's what's relevant. That he regained faith in humanity from that. As his body positivity fandom menace. I made that exact joke like an hour ago, Strike. So, get fucked. Let's give him some leeway. He might be at gunpoint by the fandom menace to make this video. Yeah.
And I haven't even mentioned Disabled Girl, because Disabled
She's... Ooh. You know, you could call her the speedster girl. You could call her... You could call her actual name, which is Makari. But no, let's call her disabled girl.
Call her girl.
You know what's funny?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the one character whose how do I phrase this? Whose diversity, quote unquote, actually makes complete sense with their powers. It's so they don't hit the sonic waves they're
boom.
generating. Yeah. Because it would deafen them.
Yes.
It's actually a neat way of having a speedster be viable.
Yeah, and she still feels the vibration, so it's not like she's like she's
And it's
deaf
actually-
and she's deaf in a conventional sense, but she's deaf in the same way that Daredevil is blind.
And it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
led to a positive outcome with people wanting to learn sign language.
Yeah, which talks about in live
Yep.
streaming. I think it's actually really fucking cool.
So
Yeah, but
It's
reductive
almost like
as to say that-
representation actually helps. I mean, what?
No way.
No.
At this point, I'm convinced these people are ableist and such. Like, it's the repeated statements that are painting individuals that are minorities in a bad light
Mm.
without ever trying to move on that position or do better phrasing.
Yep.
It's lie about the media, make it minorities' fault, gaslight.
Pretty
The
much.
fact
TFM
that
needs
people enjoy this
die.
video.
TFM needs to die at this point. If you're part of TFM, I don't care. You're part of the problem. Fuck off.
The fact that this man has 291,000 subscribers and this video, nearly 8,000 people enjoyed it, is mind-boggling.
And I'm still very annoyed that the likes of Mauler wants to host podcasts with these people. No, full well they
Yeah.
say this shit.
Last stream we spent 3 hours on Gary's video. This stream probably gonna be 3 hours as well because we have 7 minutes left and we're 2 hours and a half in. And the Gary and Az, those two, they're the ones who host that podcast with Mahler. You know, Mahler being a fan of good argumentation, I don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand how I can be friends with them. Though, you know, Mahler
Like-
doesn't have the best takes himself.
Like,
These
may I need
comments
to
are
remind.
Terrible. These comments, all of these comments are absolute garbage.
I imagine they're all
Like-
like making fun of the representation, shit like that.
Yeah, like let me just get like a screenshot.
Right.
Good
What were we
message.
gonna say, Joe?
May I remind the audience that because he has a mind of what would the doctor do, it means that white Karens and male feminists who sexually abuse over the BBC thinking minorities can't do anything, despite it being totally within her character to have that reminder to
Yeah.
give her confidence.
Don't diss this movie. I felt trying to feed off a roof earlier, and the diversity in this movie saved my life. Oh, that is so cringe. It's hilarious. Oh shit, yeah. Let me put this on screen. I'm reading it on my left monitor. I'm retarded. All right. It's hilarious that Kumail Najani. Sorry.
Nanjiani.
Yeah, sorry if I butchered that name. And Disney were totally fine with him being of Pakistani heritage. Again, should play an Indian man. Close enough. The representation of identity politics game is such a joke. His character is literally not Indian. Why did you guys help fight the Avengers fight Thanos? We were instructed not to intervene in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved. By who? Kevin Feige. That's hilarious. As a disabled woman, I don't want to see disabled superheroes. What? Except like Daredevil, where he actually has a decent backstory and reason. But okay, Jab just explained how it's a decent reason for her to be deaf. And even if it wasn't, she could just be born deaf. There are people who are born disabled. What?
As a deaf person,
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jeb, you.
I think as a deaf person, I think this person cannot speak for our community.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't even show the last one because it was zoomed in. Makes no sense. Agreed. No, it makes sense. It doesn't need to make sense. You could literally. But whatever. I don't know. Yes, people can be born with disabilities. Hot take.
Somebody just shared a story about the meat they were grilling to counter the pure soy of this movie.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, because it'd be totally manly to enjoy films.
Of course.
Yeah.
Marvel films are the manliest things I've ever seen. Yes.
Yeah.
They literally have
Which is why
explosions
why they-
and male characters. Well, they used to. Now it's MCU phase bore. So you know.
It's nice seeing how reductive they are over deaf characters. In my experience being deaf, no one really understood how to aid with that. Sign language wasn't taught. People didn't understand lip reading. And if I go I'm half deaf, they're like, oh, you can only hear half a sentence. I'm like, yes, how original. It's like this stuff is positive.
Yeah, and then
Whether
you
you
just,
like it or
I
not,
remember you
positive.
tweeting about this when lockdown started. That you were like, going outside is really hard because people are wearing masks and I can't lip read, so it's hard for me to understand what people are saying. And it's like that's just a thing you have to deal with. That there's not really much you can do because other people can't really aid you in that, or don't know how to, for a lack of like knowledge on the subject. With which Makari being deaf has actually helped a lot and helped people try to research and understand it, which is really good, positive impact.
I literally have to explain why I can't do phone calls unless I'm really familiar with the voice and I have the headphones on.
Yeah, so yeah, fucking
All right.
Phantom Menace is cringe. Let us continue.
Home stretch. Let's do this.
7 minutes, so don't worry. It's gonna take 2 more hours.
Disabled girl was literally in the film to be disabled.
She would. Did you?
Already
So did you miss the
back.
scenes where she gets people out of dangerous situations when deviants are attacking? Or the scene where she fights fucking Icarus because, you know, she has super speed. Or how about the scene where she literally finds where the emergency is happening because she has super speed, and that's how her powers become useful in that moment. Is none of that relevant to her character? Is that all her being disabled? You fucking...
So someone said first part seems to be false as Phantom Menace just had a period where they talked up a Korean show, I assume Squid Game, and often talk about shows and material that they like. Yeah, they do, but the problem is when it comes to things they don't like, they tend to attribute it to quote-unquote woke politics, which is inherently false, or
Yeah.
gaslight minorities.
Oh,
in
it's the
doing
thing.
so.
I don't think they understand any of the media they consume. So, for example, the Phantom Menace, as far as I know, they love Joker. Joker is a very left-leaning film, and if they actually were to explore what the film is trying to say, they would realize that the film is talking about a mentally ill person being poorly treated in a society where people like Thomas Wayne or these rich people, they don't really care about these actual issues that working class people face, such as Arthur Fleck. Like, that is extremely left wing.
And like, for Nerdrotic and as they adore RTD Who, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, which is
RTD is one of the most left wing writers
Yeah,
you will ever come across.
if you were to describe woke, just yes, anything RTD has written, it's woke. By
Most of
definition.
RTD shows have been about like political issues and that. Like his last show was about the fucking AIDS crisis, all about gay people.
Mhm.
Like the Phantom Menace would die at that.
Yeah, imagine if fucking Captain Jack Harkness was introduced as a character now. It'd be like, oh my god, a pan man? Oh no. It's like, yeah.
And second part is as much of a point as looking on part is part of the job description for entertainment. No, it depends on the director's vision.
Yeah, it's
And-
looking on part for what the director wants, and because the casting ultimately will fall down on the casting director and the director themselves, then like what it's adapting is irrelevant.
Pretty much.
It made no sense that a Celestial would create a disabled person, and I don't mean that disrespectfully towards disabled people out.
Jeb already explained this, so we're just gonna let it play and hear him be dumb.
I want to add something else on that. It's likely Ariship doesn't consider being deaf as a disability, given
Given she can sense vibrations anyway, and she knows how to
Yeah.
communicate with other Eternals. Yeah, it's the same thing that fucking Fringy saying that. Well, why would he make Fastos black? He could face racism. So yeah.
it's like
Have you heard that TV, by the way?
I've not.
Yeah, that's a thing that Fringy says. It's like, why did they make the different races? They could face racism. You know, 7,000 BC, 5,000 BC. Chopping them on
It's like
yes, they could face racism.
trying to humanize what we would perceive as gods doesn't tend to work well.
I'm sorry, but also, like, Erisham is not omniscient, as a lot of the criticisms seem to think it's not omniscient. He's not omniscient, so yeah. So anyway, let us continue with this great video.
There, the logic doesn't make sense. Why would you create these beings to destroy the deviants and give one a defect which could lead to their death?
But they could sense vibrations.
Yeah,
so
she can sense
no.
vibrations. Yeah, it's accounted for. You fucking.
Because they wouldn't be able to hear. And then not only that, they give the one who's deaf super speed.
Which explains why she would be deaf, like Jeb said.
So she's just running around miles away from them, so she can't even hear them when if they need to call.
If she's miles away from them, why would it matter if she's deaf or not? She wouldn't hear them anyway. What? Nobody has a fucking super scream. What the fuck are you talking about, Az? Oh my god, she's miles away and she's deaf. It's like,
Obviously,
it's like if
referencing
CV.
Black Canary, obviously.
Yeah. It's like if CV shouted out of his window right now, and Jeb was like, "Oh no, Marcus has his headphones on. He wouldn't be able to hear CV. Oh no." What a fucking moron! Oh my god, Az. How are people actually listening to this and be like, "Ah, yes, this is a good point."
Yeah, this is a very well constructed video.
Of course, yeah, no, I definitely agree with his argumentation. Yeah.
Oh man.
She was literally just there to be disabled representation, just like the black dude was there to be fat black gay
Yes, that was the only reason Fastos was there. If we discount everything that his character is, yes, that is exactly the reason.
They don't need an engineer. They just need a fat, black, and gay person.
Yeah,
they
I
need an
don't. So here's the problem what we're talking about, that they seem really bigoted. The Phantom Menace. Fuck. My brain always goes to the Phantom Menace, but anyway, the Phantom Menace.
It is not worth it. It is not worth it going through all of this just to get their name right.
The reason they seem bigoted is for shit like this. So, for example, they see Fastos. The character is gay, he's black, and I guess he's not thin. I wouldn't say he's unfit either. I'd say he's just physically strong. But sure, let's say, he's fat. So, does the fact that he's fat affect is the fact that he's fat a focus of his character? No, not whatsoever. It's never mentioned. The fact that he's black a focus of his character? No, never whatsoever. The fact that he's gay a focus of his character? No. If he was straight, the film would literally play out the same. It's only being like, yes, there are people who exist in our world who look exactly like this. We cast an actor who looks like this, and it's irrelevant because the character looking like this doesn't change anything plot-wise, because the way they look, the gender they like to fuck doesn't matter for this character. And there are also stories where it would matter. So, for example, we have Euphoria, where one of the two main characters, Jules, she is trans, and the actress who plays her is a trans actor, Hunter Schafer. And the fact that she's trans plays a big part in her character in the story. She was written that way, and the fact that they cast a trans actress was important for the role. And so it's like, yeah, there are these two ideas as well. You could literally have a character who simply is like this, and it doesn't change anything, the fact that they are, or something that relates to their character, and they're exploring someone's sexuality or race or gender. Like, you can't say like something like Judas and the Black Messiah is a bad film because the black characters from real world are being played by black actors, because the point of the film is to show the struggle of black people in that era. So like, the reasons why you'd cast someone like this is either Fastos' actor was the most appropriate for the job, he did the best job in his audition, which I can definitely see because I really like the actor, or simply because Chloe Zhao was like, no, I want to have a black actor play this role for a gay character I wrote, because I think it would be really interesting for us to have more representation, to try to normalize it, because as we all know, and as much as the Phantom Menace likes to disagree with that, these groups are definitely marginalized and oppressed, even to this day. And we're trying to minimize that the most, so that we can all live being fucking one and the same. We're just humans trying to live their lives, and that's it. So it is important. Representation is a thing that is important in media. And I don't understand what the problem is. It's just like, oh yes, they cast this black actor who is unfit to play a guy who dates another guy. Like, whatever, it doesn't change the plot in any way. They never focus on the fact that his sexuality is like a big part of his character. And even if they did, that wouldn't be an issue as long as it was like well explored. You gotta analyze how it's executed, not just like, oh yes, he's black and fat and he plays a gay character, therefore automatically bad. And I hate this fucking mentality from the Phantom Menace. And that was a big rant I just went on, so Fucking get fucked, friend of mine. Get fucked.
Representation served no other purpose, none. And he concocts a trap where he gets Icarus stuck into it.
Who died? Zod died.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
And he says to Icarus, I've been waiting a long time to clip your wings.
Yes, they did indeed show in the film that he was, he did not love Icarus. Yeah, and Icarus was super cocky and arrogant, which is part of the reason why I imagine he wouldn't love him. So yeah. Oh shit, yeah, isn't this the same thing that Gary mentioned in his video? I think it's the exact same thing, like pretty much verbatim.
I'm just like, why?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's a dick. He's super arrogant. And he sees himself as above the other people. And he thinks that the other people, the other Eternals, they are wrong in what they believe simply because they don't want to exist for Arishem. Like, Festus literally says, I don't exist for Arishem, I exist for my family. It's like, oh yeah, I can understand why he would be upset at Icarus if he says that, if Icarus just says that, oh yeah, this fucking celestial being who created me, he's more important than my own family. Why? Oh, because I was told so. No, I can understand why he'd be fucking upset. Oh yeah, and he killed, not only killed Ajax by that point, but he also caused Gilgamesh's death, and by that point he tried to kill Druig. Well, seemingly tried to kill Druig. So like, what's the issue with Phastos being mad at him?
Because
he's black and he's gay and he's fat. Oh no.
yes,
The film has not in any capacity shown any animosity between you and Icarus. None.
So you remember there's a scene in Phastos' house where Icarus uses his laser eyes and Phastos loses his cool because he's like, my child is in the next room. And then Icarus breaks his fucking table, and then Phastos is like, oh, you're an ass. You know, that from that moment then, that already shows their dynamic of Icarus being super cocky and arrogant and Phastos not liking that. That was shown in the first scene they interact with with each other in the present. So you're just wrong, guys.
Why would you say that line? It doesn't make sense because you wasted all the fucking time in your movie just reintroducing characters and not giving them any relationship, bonding, or purpose.
I was just...
Pause for dramatic effect.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pause here and stare at his face. No, but yeah, this is insane. It's actually insane that he actually can affirm these things, like, as if they're 100% true. Like, how can it be this confidently stupid? It's actually baffling to me.
Is it because he broke your flipping IKEA table?
That is part of it, yes. That shows that he's arrogant and that Phastos doesn't like that. But also, like I said, he used his laser eyes with his kid in the next room, which obviously, as someone who has a kid would not ideally like that to happen. Just throwing it out there.
You seem to be happy to see him.
Wait, he didn't. What? He didn't. When they showed up, he was literally like, oh shit, they're here. I don't like that. And then he's like, no, I'm not gonna go with you. Yeah, his first impression when they showed up in his lawn was like, oh shit. Oh fuck, they're here. I don't like that. I don't... You're just lying, Az. You're just lying by this point. Fucking hell.
you could say he's a lying ass.
Oh my god. This is fantastic fun, CV. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Really, really would. And then they decide to combine their powers and give their powers essentially to Cersei, funnel their powers into Cersei.
They decided to do that to Druig, but then Druig, because he was hurt, he couldn't do it himself. So it needed to be Cersei. But this is accurate enough for this video.
So she, because she can manipulate molecules, she can freeze the Celestial before it's born.
Yes.
Which she does.
Yes.
And Icarus decides to help them in the end.
Why? Why does everyone not understand that Icarus did not help them? It was an accident. Tiamat made him help them by accident. It's literally explained in the film when Festus is like, oh yeah, Tiamat rising, his energy created the Unimind. And he's like, oh yeah, I always wanted to know how we survive the other emergencies. And it explains not only that, but also how, why fucking Icarus and Sprite helped in that. So much so that Makari even points it out. It's like Tiamat united us, even Sprite and Icarus. It's like, oh, that is interesting, isn't it? Maybe the film pointed it out. The film pointed it out explicitly, but I guess you're just too fucking retarded to notice. Jesus fucking Christ.
Do that.
Come on, Marcus, 5 minutes left.
And then
We've
when he
got this.
does, he's like, okay, I'm going to fly into the sun and kill myself now. Bye.
Yes, he does kill himself.
What are you looking for?
What?
What are you looking for?
What do you mean?
Did you misplace your Big Mac or something?
He's using the Fringy argument. He's doing the Fringy argument, guys. I want to die. I'm
He was looking around like he misplaced his Big Mac. The third one today. Where the fuck did it go?
Now, as you can probably gather,
Okay,
You're
so he's just
stupid?
moving on. Okay, so Icarus killing himself. Few reasons. First off, he was literally fighting the person he loved the most in the world because he lived with her for 5,000 years.
No, but they never developed that. They never developed that.
I see. Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah.
He decided to not kill her at the end, which goes against his entire thing of saying that he exists for Erisham, because by that point, by not killing her, he is going against Erisham's plan, which is obviously him being like, fuck, my entire life's purpose, it's just gone. I just didn't follow through with it. I shouldn't live anymore because my purpose in life is over. So, you know, there's a few reasons why he would kill himself by that point, but, you know, just saying, but whatever.
this is a film that has essentially...
I mean, not to mention how he caused Gilgamesh's death, he killed Ajax, he tried to kill Druig. You know, he's done a few things to these people that he supposedly loves.
essentially no plot. That is absolute mess as they try to juggle every single character while not doing what they should have done with the characters, which is bond them together.
You mean how they join together by the end to fight Icarus and Sprite? That's literally how they do it. We have a lot of relationships being built as well in the flashbacks with Icarus and Cersei and Makari and Druig and fucking... I want to die.
And make us see how much they meant to each other and how much they cared and how the relationships between them truly operated.
You mean like when they say, when Cersei says that Ajax loved Icarus, and like, did she? She told me this, and I have to live with it for 100 years. It's like, oh damn, maybe that does.
No.
No.
Or the fact that Kingo literally joins the mission because he wants to defend fucking. He wants to protect his family.
Fucking no.
I want to die so hard right now. I actually just want to fall
I'll
down.
fucking kill you
Please.
if you want.
Please. I need it right now. Imagine that face looking at you as he stabs you. Jesus Christ.
You having a good time? I'm sorry, he still looks like a pedophile. Like I can't get over that.
No. No, they just waste their time going to each person's house and going, Ajax is dead. Do you want to come help us?
Ajax.
Well, I got my boyfriend here, or I've got my Bollywood here.
I've got my Bollywood here.
This is so reductive, dude.
Just let it play. Don't pause it. Just let it play.
Or I've got my town full of zombies here.
Not full of zombies. He lets them live there. He just protects them. How is it full of zombies? Did you actually miss Druig's entire fucking character? You did, because you said no character has fucking development. Because you're a fucking moron. You disingenuous faggot. Oh my god.
And then having to go through a rigmarole of probably a deviant turning up, Awesome. Ooh, my pathos.
What? What? I'm sorry. What the fuck did you just say? I'm confused.
He said my pathos or something.
What? What? What the fuck does? Hold on. Pathos. Greek word suffering, experience, or emotion. So, what?
My emotion, basically.
I guess.
And then having
Saying
to
that he's
go
making
through a
He's making fun of the film for having emotions.
So he's making fun of the film for characters having emotions, but in the
Wait,
first
wait,
2
wait.
minutes of the video, he said that the characters don't show any emotion in the entire film.
Well, no emotions if you're just a biological machine.
That is a good point. Yeah, biological machines don't show emotions.
rigmarole of probably a deviant turning up or some, ooh, my pathos.
Um,
A waste of absolute time. To add to that,
You know
the
what's a waste of
cinematography-
time? This video.
For real, we're 20 minutes in. We've watched it for 5. In 5 minutes, in 4 minutes, it's gonna be
no
3 hours.
legitimate argument from you. I've received no legitimate argument from you.
Yeah,
You
he's-
never criticized the story for anything.
Yeah, he's just saying stuff.
was
I will say, I find it
black
funny,
as a
Words,
pan-
and they came out of your mouth, I guess. Maybe.
I find it funny how he makes fun of the film for being a waste of time after doing another fucking dramatic pause for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
to add to that, the cinematography was flat as a pancake.
What?
You're
No,
actually
no,
brain dead.
um,
Okay,
no,
it's the most visually appealing MCU film. It's genuinely the most visually appealing MCU film. More than Guardians 2 even. It's insane how good it looks.
The way they tie in the shot, like at the very end and then at the beginning with giving with the little kid. Yeah, it's
It's so good. The way they the way they use the shots of people's hands and shit like that. It's just it feels very personal and intimate. But we also see these grandiose shots to show the scale of everything that's going on with like the huge like Tiamat rising or just the fucking Arishem showing up at the end. That shot of Arishem showing up at the end, by the way, is fucking.
I
phenomenal.
remember when you first saw the movie and it was like that shot with the hand and everything. It was in the trailer and you were like, that's like the most cathartic scene in the film. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really know what that meant. And then I watched the movie and I was like, oh God, this was amazing.
Yeah, for
like
real.
it felt so good.
This actually had really good cinematography for Icarus fight scenes, which is probably the biggest challenge it was going to get. And Makari as well, actually. To do good cinematography with those two characters is very difficult as.
Yeah, they made the fight with a speedster character without doing slow-mo look great. So, wow, that is fucking impressive. I'm sorry.
I remember like back when the trailer came out, like we weren't that impressed with how it was looking.
Yeah,
But
it's because
it
it looked
turned out
pretty
really
standard,
well.
but like, yeah, the film
Turned out
actually,
really well.
yeah. I think we just were way too cynical because another MCU film,
Yeah,
Phase
yeah,
4,
yeah.
and I don't really like Nomadland, so I was like, yeah, I don't think this one's gonna be good.
Face bore.
Yes, MCU Phase 4,
Yes.
dramatic pause.
Flatter than a Marvel comic woman's chest.
That
What?
is hilarious. That is a hilarious comparison, as I hope you're proud of yourself.
What the fuck did he just
To that.
say?
Oh yeah, it's
Cinematography
I don't
was
know if you know the CV, but one thing that the fucking Fandom Menace talks about in terms of comics is how characters used to look way more feminine, which from them I guess means big breasts and but also really super thin. But nowadays they look less feminine with having flatter chests and looking buff. Like I don't know if you've seen the new She-Hulk comic book version of her, but she looks like pretty much just Hulk. And fucking what's her face? That Star Wars girl lost her mind over that, and she tried to redo it, and it looked like shit because obviously she's Anna. So
Yeah.
Don't insult Star Wars girls. You'll get bombarded for 3 fucking days.
Good times, good times.
Cinematography was flat as a pancake.
Dramatic pause.
Flatter than a Marvel comic woman's chest.
Dramatic pause.
Absolutely no excitement, no interest in the way that the cameras were.
I like how he assumes having small tits means this. Uh,
Hot take, but small tits are actually pretty good.
I agree.
I can't.
Based on
This is pretty like derogatory. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's part of the shit where like I've seen. I'm gonna cite Shoe on Head, and people who are on the right are gonna hate it. But Shoe on Head, she's made a few videos talking about this kind of shit and how there are a lot of people who, because of this shit, where there are there are people who just for no reason they end up criticizing these like body proportions and be like, oh, she's flat, oh, she looks fat or something like that. It just, there's a lot of people in her audience who have said like, oh yeah, no, I feel very bad when people are criticizing like that. It's like, no, yeah, I look like that feels terrible to me. And it's just, yeah, maybe just accept that women can look different, and not all women need to look attractive to you, especially because how physically attractive someone is to you is completely subjective. So for the comic writer, potentially the way they're drawing, it's attractive to them. Like, isn't there like a comic book drawer who like bases all his female characters on his wife? I think it's like drawn Gwen.
Scott Campbell, I think that is, yeah.
Yeah, which I think is like, yeah, obviously that looks attractive to him, but not to all people. You know, it's fine. Characters don't need to look attractive to you. You're not entitled to that.
You don't speak for everybody.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If you were an actress and he told you you were unattractive, you wouldn't care.
You'd be pretty happy, probably. Not gonna lie.
It's
like, oh, thank God, he doesn't want to go after me. Jesus.
Like, oh no, this whatever nonsense. Tell me I'm unattractive. What will I do?
This fucking incel child molester tells me that I'm not attractive. What will I do with my life?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what he is. I'm saying that's what he looks like.
Just saying. When Gary does it,
there's a difference. I'm not accusing him of anything.
And he's married, for God's sake.
As is married?
I'm saying it's the same when Gary does it.
Oh yeah, Gary is married and he does that, yeah.
He's an ex-felon, so he has seen Woke on Woke crime.
That's what put him
He
behind
has life experience. He's got life experience.
He's got a lot of life experience, yeah.
Listen here, Southpaw.
No interest in the way that the cameras were positioned, that the shots were framed, that the film was presented, and then
you're just repeating the same thing. The shots were framed and the film was presented literally means the same thing. Repeating the same thing with different words, with synonyms, does not make it an argument. As
you keep using those words. I don't think they mean what you think they mean.
Yeah.
How to tell
using the word. I don't think you know what it means.
Of course, when a scene goes into full CGI mode, you get cuts everywhere and da-da-da-da-da, because the people...
So let's talk about... So you remember in the jungle scene in the Amazon, where they were attacked by the deviants, and they had like that 1 minute long no cut scene with Cersei helping the people to run away, and we had Kingo fighting the deviants with his finger guns. I was like, oh shit, there actually hasn't been a cut here, and there was a lot of CGI because, you know, the actor who plays Kingo does not actually fire energy blasts from his fingers. The deviants are actually real in the real world, unfortunately, as much as, you know, but yeah, there's a lot of CGI there, and that take took a long time for them to actually cut again. Or, you know,
but have you considered that
is a good point. Yeah. I mean,
consider that.
You remember the deviant attacks Icarus and flies him into the house, and he was really up close to him, and they break out like from the side of the house, and you know, that small cabin falls down, and then Icarus kills him. Oh yeah, he's trying to kill the deviant with his laser eyes, but the deviant doesn't let him. Like, he keeps holding his face down and not being able to look at him. And then it's like, and that moment was also like a pretty big take with no cut and mostly just CGI because, you know, the deviant is not real. So you're just wrong, as.
Yes.
Doing the special effects are trying to make it as dynamic as possible So you have this like special effects scene, flat.
Okay.
What
What the fuck is happening? Did he just have a stroke? Did you actually just have a stroke in the middle of his sentence? Ah, yes. The cinematography is flat. What the actual
I was
fuck?
like in another window. I was looking at another window, and I thought he was just pausing for dramatic effect. And then I hear like baby noises, and I'm like, "What is happening?"
Then the cinematography when it went
I hate it when the cinematography goes dude. It's fucking
Don't you just hate it when your film goes
remember the camera shot?
Did you hate it when the technical aspects of a film just start mumbling to you?
Ah, yes, dude.
Don't you love when that big grand shot of Tiamat rising just goes?
Hey, I really like that movie. Oh, cool. What was your favorite part? When it went
I swear to God, dude. What a
Do
fucking
you like the
nonsense.
beach scene where all you heard was
What if that was dialogue? What if that's how you conveyed like important plot information? It's actually Morse code.
Yeah, Jesus. What a fucking.
Makers possible. So you have this
I need to
CGI
hear that again.
mode. You get cuts everywhere and because the people doing the special effects are trying to make it as dynamic as possible. So you have this like special effects scene, flat.
Why are you still going? What?
he does it for 5 seconds.
What is happening?
I like to think a ghost went into his soul and controlled it.
He just
Like he
got
died
fucking
for 5
possessed.
Oh my God.
The TFM ghost came in.
Oh,
The dark soul
Absolutely
from Shang-Chi
boring
possessed
beyond
him.
compare. I looked at my watch. I saw that an hour and 45 minutes had gone by, and I laughed. I actually was like,
You can read time as.
That was the funniest laugh I've ever
that
heard.
was, yeah. It sounded like such a pedo laugh. It's like, come into my candy, man.
Welcome crime time with the kids.
Welcome. Dude, this is. Oh my God.
What a banger way to end the video.
I know, right?
because I was here
I needed this.
bored, senseless, without any care for any of the characters because the
Because you're
film didn't
moronic.
give me a single reason to care about them.
Yeah, all he gave me was mem.
Yeah, all it did was.
That's all you got.
If only the dialogue wasn't just That would have been so good, dude. Characters would actually have character. You see, if he actually understood all the dialogue as that explains so much of why he missed what the fuck was happening in the
Exactly.
film. So actually, he did have a stroke in the middle of the film, and he's recovered from it now. And it's like, oh, I guess let's just remember the film during my stroke. See, it all makes sense.
Yeah, the mem is an allegory for mental illness. That's what's going on.
Maybe similar to Mad Weary, but we're not sure yet if Mad Weary is an allegory for mental illness.
I'm still on the fence with that.
Yeah.
I need to sleep on it.
Not one. When one got killed, did not care. Why did I care? Because I'm a heartless bastard? No.
Did he say Wong?
Yeah, he called Gilgamesh Wong, which is pretty racist if I do say so myself, but alright.
As seeing minorities.
Oh my God, as Jesus.
Holy crap.
Because you gave no reason. You didn't develop them. You didn't build them.
Sure has.
You didn't give me any reason to care about any of these characters. And I was actually at the end thinking, Icarus is, even though everyone, it's a horrendous thing to blow up the Earth to birth the Celestials, like, Icarus is the only one here who's got any loyalty about him.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. I thought he was going, oh, Icarus actually had a point, but no, that's all he's saying. He's saying that, okay, he's just saying that, yes, he had loyalty. Yes, that is the trait that this character has. Good on you, Az.
Because he's loyal to the Celestial.
Yes.
I don't
Why does...
think Az.
I
don't know
what was that
means.
observation? That was... It's like, yeah, oh my god, he was the only one who had loyalty. Hilarious. What?
I'm trying to do the whole. The white man had a point.
What the fuck is happening, dude?
I'll tell you what's happening.
Like, I don't know. I don't think I'd be loyal to Celestial that lied about my entire existence
Yeah.
and wants me to kill 7 billion plus people that I've lived with for all my memories.
Yeah.
Gemma Chen.
Oh yeah, I just remembered as well because I didn't mention that before, but it's way back. But part of Athena's reason for her also to want to protect Earth is the fact that she has experienced these planets dying a lot.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
She has her memories flooding back, and so she doesn't want that cycle to continue because it's horrible to just keep on helping to murder these people pretty much. So yeah, her Mad Weary definitely has a part in why she wants to help people. So yeah, anyway.
Loyal to the Celestial.
What the? The laughter just so comes out of nowhere.
Gemma Chen,
Yeah. she's
Richard
great.
Madden,
He was great.
Salma Hayek, all the others, apart from Sprite and Pakistani Indian man,
He has a name.
just so flat.
I mean, he's calling everyone by their actor's name, so I don't think he cares all that much. Other than the characters who he thinks are diversity hires, such as black gay guy. So yeah.
Performances were just so bland and emotionless.
Yes. Sure. If you say so. If you discount every time they felt any emotion, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Oh, wait! This is amazing. This is perfectly timed. I had no idea. I just noticed this. Hang on. Look at the ad that I'm getting in the watch together. It's so fitting. Hold up.
All right.
I like how he says Stirring is portrayed with emotion.
Live the life you love. Lose the way you want. Oh, that's fucking amazing. How to entertain the children of ECUM. It's an amazing fucking way of entertaining us. As an erotic was always bad. That's my hot take. Don't worry, we agree 100%. They're really shit. As made some good videos on Doctor Who, supposedly, according to Jeb, but Gary is really shit in everything he does.
Let me tweet this real
that's
quick.
all I can say. I would personally give this a 4 out of 10, and
My.
You genuinely didn't say anything positive about the film. You give it a 4.
I don't understand the standard.
Like, I'm sorry, but if I were this harsh on a film, I wouldn't give it above a 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just a normie mentality of number ratings where, like, they think something meh is like a 7 out of 10, whereas I think 7 out of 10 is, like, pretty great for a film. So, I don't know. It's weird how the human brain works.
It kind of reminds me of TLJ fans' standards, where I was like, filmmaking, it's like 7, or acting 5, or directing.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, pretty much.
Or except it's that, but in reverse. Or it's like, it was all shit.
Exactly.
4 out of 10.
You guys going to respond to YMS's video? Yes, on future ECUM, not today. We've been going at this for 3 hours and 14 minutes by this point. I don't think we can cover another video today.
think I'm
Just
being
tweeted
generous
this.
because I know I've kind of torn this film another arsehole, but
Yeah,
I would give this 4 out of 10 tops.
Okay.
I'm not even going to go into the end credit scenes because they were just
What just happened?
There's
what
a-
just
Did he
happened?
just moan into his mic?
He did. There's a post-credit scene that set up fucking Blade and Black Knight. How is that boring? It's fucking awesome. It's fucking Kit Harington playing Black Knight. He's visited by Blade himself, played by Mahershala Ali. And Thanos' brother showed up. How is that boring? Is it?
You
Whatever.
probably thought it was boring because it was Harry Styles.
Yeah, of course.
I still
Don't
can't
give a-
believe it's Harry Styles, but yeah.
It is pretty funny,
Yeah.
but then I'm like, he's really good in Dunkirk, so whatever.
If I'm honest, it actually does kind of make sense because from what I know about his character is that he's like this. He is basically like this very pompous sort of
Yeah.
superstar.
I
of a
wonder if they're going to
superhero.
do the thing where he went to trial for sexual assaults or whatever.
Jesus,
I wonder if they're going to do that.
that'd be
Yeah, and
interesting.
his character in the comics is a bit of a rapist,
Oh,
Yeah.
That's good. We approve of that.
which is why
Yeah.
they got Harry Styles.
I just realized how weird it looks with that PFP. Me laughing, it looks so bad. It makes me seem like an actual pedo.
yeah, only scene you like it, yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
Shit. I will not see this film again. There is no reason for me to see this film again at all.
I don't think you saw the film in the
it
first place.
Does Ifep dislike Eternals? So only Fringy watched it, and he described the plot for the other two, and he
In a very disingenuous way,
yeah, he thinks the film is a 1 out of 10, which is something.
which is crazy because 1 out of 10 is Loki.
Yeah, but you know, my message videos are normally pretty good, but sometimes his takes are weird. Yeah, he has some terrible takes. Like he says, Hush is a 1 out of 10. Like he's really weird.
Like, I'm sorry, even if you think the world building is like beyond broken, you can't give it below like a 4 or 5 for characters.
Yeah,
you
for
just
real.
can't.
Yeah, like
It's legitimately
they give
impossible
the
for it to
Suicide
be a
Squad
1
a
out of
5
10.
out of 10 because the characters save it so much, and it's like, oh, then the same thing would apply to Eternals.
Yeah, no, very very consistent standards. I can
Of
see.
course, yeah, Ifep has very consistent standards.
Like me, it didn't interest me. I don't care. I didn't care about these characters. No, to me, this is a one and out thing. Just like Black Widow, one and done. Thank you.
I watched Black Widow 3 times.
Well, at least it's a good take. At least it's a good take.
Yeah.
Probably not for the right reasons, but it's a take.
Just like Chang-Ching, one and done. Thank
Did
you.
you just say Ching Ching?
Chang, yeah, he said Chang Ching because that funny, I guess, because you know, Chinese.
That has racial connotations, Ad. You can't. Ugh, can't be saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
That's like
okay
going
with
Ching
making
Chong.
that.
Don't you get it? It's
I'm
the
okay
Asian
with
person.
making that joke, but because it's as, I think there's more to it because the way he acts seems pretty bigoted.
Yeah.
It's like the ing and the ong and the ang. It's like, yeah.
He's
I
like,
don't know about that.
I'm dyslexic. That's funny.
Yeah.
You get it because it's an Asian person.
Whoa. They talk funny.
Funny.
Done. Thank you. Eternals, one and done. Thank you. No interest. Fate.
Oh yeah. Also, Shang-Chi. I watched it twice. Yeah, I think twice. I'm gonna rewatch it with Madvocate at some point soon. But yeah, I don't know. I think if you're gonna talk about these films and you actually want to be in depth, you'd watch them more than once. If you're actually gonna make a review, like my Shang-Chi video, I took some notes and I took a long time to do that. He's just making this video like, oh, I watched the film once. I barely remember it clearly because there's just shit I missed while watching it. So yeah, I think you should watch the film at least twice if you're actually gonna make a review like this.
Yeah, because like first watch, you're gonna miss some stuff, as we can clearly see. But even if you're like just like actually have common sense, you're going to watch the movie more than once. Like all of us, we watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. We didn't think it was that good, or we didn't think it was bad first time around.
Yeah.
But there were issues that we noticed later. So you have to watch it at least twice just to get a reasonable sense. I think it was Meme Repository that said he tries to get a sense of where he's
Oh yeah,
at least. by watching it twice.
Meme says usually that he just watches one time without being like too critical, and then he rewatches it to like try to spot issues that might be in the film. So the first time is just like for entertainment value, just being like, oh yeah, this is how much I enjoyed it. And the second,
Yeah,
watch
which
the-
I agree with, which is what I do.
That's what I do.
It's not
Yeah,
inherently
right.
what I do because I think my brain just notices shit, but yeah.
If it's like a
Cool.
big thing, it will be apparent on the first watch.
Is a disaster. So there we go, folks. That is my thoughts, feelings, opinions, and review of Marvel's Eternals. I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up.
To be
I
fair,
did. I did
yeah,
get
that
a-
was
I did get a kick
extremely
out of this
entertaining.
one.
It was really entertaining. It was,
It really did knock my socks off, if you will say.
yeah. Time flew by as opposed to Gary's video where it just felt like I wanted to die.
Up and also subscribe
not
to the
go that
channel.
far.
Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below.
I think that's all. Yeah. So that was the video.
Can I recommend you do a watch along of Memento, please? I really want to see you do that.
Please, as we need it.
And I will super chat you $10 just to do it.
Ah, wow, that video was insane. It was like a fever dream. I cannot believe that was an actual video that someone made. God damn. Ah, had fun. Meme is the best ECUM meme now, so I'm glad we got that going.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, Papa G is saying, why does EFAB have so many bad takes recently?
It's not just recently, but
They've had bad takes. I think it's just becoming.
it's becoming clearer because I think they're becoming more arrogant in regards to how they defend those takes. But they still
That
have some
and-
good takes sometimes, so whatever.
I feel like the fandom menace is just rubbing off on them like a lot.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Their mentality and everything.
All the Friday night tight shenanigans are not doing them any favors.
Yeah. But are you only noticing them now? I think there's a turning point. I think Terriers probably was part of it, with them being so harsh on the show for no reason and just being wrong
It's
about a lot of
honestly
their
been
criticisms.
it's been since TASM for me, if I'm being honest.
Oh, part of it has been TASM for me too, but I'm like, yeah, I still like EFAB, but since Terriers, I'm like, yeah, no, their standards are super inconsistent, and I've watched a few old EFABs, and I've noticed a lot of that, so yeah, I know. But yeah, I think a lot of their criticisms are really fucking shit. For a lot of shit they cover, I think they're pretty biased in a lot of it, but who knows?
Yeah, I think especially when it comes to like superhero stuff, they can be very overly cynical going in.
Or be
and
overly charitable when it's Spider-Man in the MCU.
Yeah, like it is insane the levels of defenses they go to for MCU Spider-Man. Like it is the stuff they make fun of with other things, but they make those defenses
Yeah.
for MCU Spider-Man. Because you see, is Peter Parker, he's just a kid, he's just going through some stuff. It's okay
Yeah.
if he wants to let the world end. It's okay. It's perfectly fine.
What annoys me
Okay.
is
Okay,
a podcast that was mainly founded on a philosophy of promoted discussion and coming up with an objective standard that we can all go by, and seeing how things hold by that discussion. They go very counterintuitive to that. Most recent example is the Homecoming video of SK. They just said it was really shit, gave no arguments, and refused to debate SK on it. And it's like, well, the problem is you're trashing the video, but you're not giving really SK a chance to discuss this. So it comes
Yeah.
off as quite
Disingenuous.
malicious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be
just-
like the video we just watched. It's like it's a review of Eternals that doesn't say anything for or against Eternals.
You just state stuff, and then most it's like, oh yes, the characters didn't have any development. They're like, yes, it does though. And
Yeah,
proof
it's
it
like-
does.
If we compare the situation to SK within the Spider-Verse video, Southpaw actually covered the video and invited SK on.
Yeah, they had a debate
Yeah.
after the coverage after SK's mind hadn't been changed yet.
And that whole thing took a while. It was a process, but it
Yeah,
got-
from
comes
someone
out.
who's
That was
been there
off
since
and
the
a half.
beginning, it took a long time to prepare for that stream, and it was like a 12-hour stream, and then they also had to prepare for the fucking debate, so there was a lot of it.
But I mean, that's what it's all about. So like, to not want to do that is just not encouraging discussion, which is the type of discussion the
Well,
community
it's the
was
exact
built
thing
on.
that Mueller has said. Oh no, yeah, objective criticism encourages discussion as opposed to subjective. Like, oh yeah, this I like this. Well, I didn't like this. Well, okay, that's nice. It's like I disagree. I think a lot of people can say, I didn't like this, and you try to understand why. That's just as valuable as being like, oh yes, this doesn't make sense. Being like, I think more valuable even than something being like, well, this doesn't make sense, and the other person, no, it does make sense, because like ultimately you're gonna find out, yeah, it does make sense. But if you want to try to understand it from like a more thematic level, from more of a deeper level, trying to understand why someone wouldn't like something or why someone connected so much with a certain piece of media, it can be quite interesting. So I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm not against subjective criticism at all. Like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, unless you're using it instead of objective criticism, which that can be like,
Yeah, I think
you're
it can be
confusing
weird
the
if you're
two
like, oh
things.
yes, the film is bad because I don't like Asian people. It's like, well, that is an interesting thing.
Yeah, but like just saying like I don't like this movie, like there are good movies that I don't like and there are bad movies that I do like. So it's like there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's it for today. 3 hours and a half on probably 3 hours. I think we spent like half an hour just before just talking about shit. But that was fun. Az is a content creator that we cover
Indeed.
sometimes, and he has takes. But
He does.
yeah. I personally don't believe objective good, objective bad, well made or poorly made. Yeah, their objective quality is not a thing, but we can go into that at some other point. But
What I believe in is there's quality and there's entertainment, and that's how I go about things.
yeah, you can definitely separate the two. But yeah, I think that's it for today. We'll catch you next time. We'll probably cover more Eternals, because I don't know if we have anything else that we're all that passionate about until 10 fucking finishes Daredevil or No Way Home comes out. So you gotta.
Oh yeah, no, it's very very close.
Yeah, we're
It's like-
probably gonna have a lot to talk about in regards to that film, which is.
Do you know when it comes out for you, Marcus?
16th.
16th. Okay, is that Universal or was it 17th?
I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think it's coming out everywhere in 17th, but I'm gonna go in like a pre-release with a friend of mine on the 17th.
Yeah,
16th.
that's what I'm planning on doing.
And aren't the tickets? Don't they start selling tomorrow?
So I've been like on Twitter. They've opened for the UK and Australia, I think, because
Right.
they're ahead of us, and like the websites are crashing. Nobody's getting
Wait,
tickets.
are they? Let me check this because I'm UK.
Which one? There was this one website that it was like the first one to start selling, and it immediately crashed.
Odeon, I guess.
It was something. It was like it had UE in it or something. Let me go check.
Odeon.
Hold up, likes. Let me go to the tweet that I like.
Yeah, it's not selling yet in Brazil.
The View website.
Right.
Oh, View. Wow.
Yeah,
View.
View just
Shit.
went down within 20 minutes of the tickets going on sale.
I've just managed to get through.
And then I
'Cause-
know Australian people are still in queues.
Yeah, I'm on the
Yo,
View
like-
now.
Yeah, cause see,
You gonna go on opening night, Jeb?
No, I'm gonna go on the day because I'm seeing it with Cara and her sister.
Right.
It comes out 2 days earlier for us.
see, like all the good suits are like already being taken, and there's still a queue despite that, because there's still seats open.
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing kind of happened with Endgame, right? Or it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that. Even Brazil's shit was insane. I went like a day after it came out, and it was still fucking packed. And I also
I
went.
don't remember how I got tickets for Endgame. I got like good seats, and I don't even know how. Like, it was like the website Fandango crashed, but I still managed to get through it.
Well, I
like,
think
I
the
got
website
really
was
lucky.
working properly for me. It's just that it was really full when I was already buying.
I
was
need to,
should
like,
buy it
I need to
here.
be on it tonight, because if they come out like 11:01, I need to be on it, because otherwise I'm out of luck.
My friend's gonna buy it for us because we're gonna go together, so I don't need to care about it. So get fucked, TV. But
I'm currently
Fuck yeah.
getting tickets.
nice. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We'll catch y'all like, next week or something. Oh yeah, Doctor Who extras. Tomorrow, the next one's gonna be the episode 3 one. It was supposed to be already out, but I haven't had time to edit it, so Brit edited it for me. So I'm just gonna check and add copyright covers and shit like that tonight. So that should be out tomorrow. And then I'm gonna start editing the episode 4 one. Hopefully have it out by the end of the week. And the Flash recordings, we already have a couple episodes. The first 2 episodes have come out. Those are gonna come out after Flux is done, and so you're gonna have to wait for that for a couple weeks. But other than that, yeah, catch y'all probably Friday or Sunday for the next ECUM. Yeah, bye bye.
Goodbye and mama.
Bye.